Chai! Now wow, people wey suppose talk truth to power don't off mic. And if we talk, now 500,000 they go summer us, call them hate speech. But fear not, Maiyegun don't come. Him go torchlight every corner, nooks and cranny of all these bad people where they spoil our country. So my people make we loud, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. My people make we shout, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. MaiyegunDiary Politico, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. This one not the off in mind, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. And in the touchlight every corner, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Okay, some people be they holla say they want the power. Chai, them be promise us say we go get light and power. Nah. Them hustle sote they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Sure. Every day, dollar just they get the higher power over naira. Still them talk say make we off mind. But thank God say Maiyegun don't come. So my people make you loud, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. My people make we shout, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. MaiyegunDiary Politico, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. This one not the off in mind, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Person where they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that Maiyegun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say MaiyegunDiary, he they hot like pepper. But every day then they take money in bulk. Woman picking, they the street they hawk. Still them talk say make we no talk. But thank God say Maiyegun don't come. So my people make you loud, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. My people make you shout, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. MaiyegunDiary Politico, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. This man not the off in mind, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Aha. Now you not done here, all these bad politicians, them we call themselves politicians. When they thief our money, we no want make the common man get waiting supposed get for this country. Una never hear something. Now go hear one, Maiyegun, you go show na paper. Maiyegun.
Hello there. Good morning to you, good afternoon to you, and good evening to you from wherever you are watching from. This is Maiyegun live.
Lórí Facebook, lórí YouTube, Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun number one. Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Maiyegun já wa sí. Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun number one.
Thank you so much for joining me tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to have something like People's Parliament, but dedicated to the obedient, what you achieved. No matter how much a lot of critics want to underplay that, for the sake of posterity, we will keep them for posterity's sake, I will say. The man behind it, or should I say the man at the front of the whole thing, Peter Obi turned 62 today. So if you are obedient, you are welcome. We would like to have you on tonight. You can join the studio. Okay, let me tell you how this is going to work. Tonight, I am going to bring back to you, all right, the movement that were primarily thought would be third force, but they ended up being the main force. So tonight, I'll bring back some of this, some of their activities that led to the obedient, ever persistent, obedient all over the world. I have compiled some clips that I'm going to share with you. And at a point, you are likely going to have a chance, if you want to, join us live and share with us. Where did you get that conviction from that if it was Obi, Nigeria have a chance? Without Obi, Nigeria is done for. Mind you, Maiyegun, I am actually at the camp of those of us who have seen it all. We believe that Nigeria cannot be saved or rescued. But there are millions of you who have proved the point that the establishment can be taken to the cleaners. And you did that in a space of a 10 months. Your movement got people who are never interested in what was going on politically in Nigeria for the first time to be interested, because now they understood the impact of bad governance. Now, this movement, as much as some of these critics would like to underplay what you have done, we all agree that the only sort of opposition in Nigeria right now, politically, that is giving the establishment a sleepless night are this same supposed 4 people tweeting in a room. You can share the broadcast. Remember,
YouTube. And yes, we like
Peter Obi turned 62 today. Is like a one-man mopo with the army of oppressed, brutalized, abused, and impoverished Nigerians, young and old. He became their symbol. He shocked all of us. Like I said, will be dedicated to the obedience. But because it is People's Parliament, which means the invitation is open and free, it could also be an avenue for all of us tonight, okay? So kind of, listen to the passionate, obedient, what they are holding on to, that continue to make them believe that except the tribunal save Nigeria, Nigeria is done for until then, right? And to some of you too, who believe that, I know it's all kind of nonsense, as you would say, but respectfully, join us and tell us or convince us to make it an open conversation, respectfully too, right? So, but before we get to that, I'll get you into the mood. We'll give them this first hour or two, most especially for those of you who are obedient, to have a chance to kind of have a flashback what you did and the change you have brought into the political space of Nigeria, the disruption you have caused and still causing. I am going to bring all that back, and maybe afterward, then we end it at what the man that has become, somebody that some of them actually love to hate. Long story, okay? So it all started like banter or banters. And this was in December 2020. And it was from the social media. And it was from these expressive Nigerians who are sharing their frustration, anger against the establishment, Nigeria government. In the process, I remember, it was one of them who actually made an open, request that if by the 2023 election, Peter Obi failed to contest, he would save money to sue him. So like I said, it started like a banter. But Mr. Peter Obi, who happened to be, according to, his record, he is an elite, a trader, a billionaire, a former bank owner or bank director. Now, he is considered as, in today's Nigeria, or should we say, in anywhere in today's world, a standard Nigeria billionaire, which means he belonged to the elite. So he was governor of a state, which actually then dipped him in the dirty pool of Nigeria politics. But his story is always very different. And even if his own critic agreed, until Peter Obi said he wanted to run for president, it was in fact a very good example of what politicians or public servants should always be. And this kind of a sentiment is almost agreed by all groups. It happened to be, his emergence, his government, his life after government, and on like that, until when Atif could pick him as his running mate. And why? Credibility. So let's go back to 2020. And I think Peter Obi didn't even see that tweet until probably a year later. And when he saw it, people were sharing that. And he said, well, I don't have any money for court. I remember that very well. If you go back onto MaiyegunsDiary, Politico, all of this, a year ago, you will see them all detailed. Right? But I am going to consider, I'm going to look into it, and I'll get back to all of you. So people bantered about it. It was like that, and people just move on and all that. Then fast forward to 2021. By 2021, which was like people were beginning to say, fast forward to 2022, people were beginning to feel like, PDP must bring somebody that is that has integrity, not corrupt. And the kind of sufferness people have seen under Bukwari, they will support PDP. They don't even care anymore that whether PDP was corrupt or not. They just needed somebody. And guess what? The only name that was popping up in the mouth of these young people on social media at the time, Peter Obi, Peter Obi, Peter Obi. And before you know it, a lot of them started searching for him. At a time, he became the most searched for person in the entire Nigeria. Peter Obi, Peter Obi, Peter Obi, Peter Obi, 2022. Young people were like looking. And guess what? The only thing they could grab on were his speeches, what he said. Is really, the way he described and play around with figures. It mesmerized a lot of them. They've never seen any real politician, right, play with numbers like that. And to back it up, it was actually somebody who had figures, who had proof to back some of what he is saying. He did it, or he did them in Anambra. Like I said, he used to be an example of a good governor before he declared for president. Peter Obi, that guy. If you want, I like Peter. You know what I mean? Everybody loved him. So, Peter Obi declared that I will be running in 2023. He tweeted it under PDP. And right to it, like straight into it, he started visiting different states. Okay, meeting people. They call them party members, party leaders. But he was visiting them. And he wasn't kind of giving them the kind of money that somebody who wants to be president will always give people. So they were mocking him. They were laughing at him. He went to 36 states in Nigeria, only him, in PDP, before their convention. Then everybody wanted to be president, this and that. They started mocking him. He had no money because he said, they give shishi. Peter Obi is a politician. He is an elite. Okay? Making his own money in a country like Nigeria to get to the level where he got to within that system, and he's never fingered in any kind of fraud, corruption, or any illegality ever. Are you with me? So, he could pay them money. He could bribe them. He could talk to his own friends also and tell them about his project, and they will gather money, billions, and they will pay them. But they said that is not his way. And that was one of the things that people actually loved about him, or they have heard about him. These things used to be beautiful. They used to be nice things to hear about politicians, especially politicians like Peter Obi, until he said he wants to be president. So they said, you want to be president, and you are saying, they give shishi. He has no money. So the money bags moved in, where a wiki was even mocking him at a point. They were laughing at him like a joker. It's just like, what did they worry him? Was it because somebody used you as a vice president the last time? So you think they forgot the fact that the forces driving or asking Obi himself didn't even know. But somehow he said what he has he has seen outside Anambra, in the entire Nigeria, the abject poverty, the suffering of the people. Guess what? He was actually right. When he left before he left government, he was shipping. Before he joined government, he was shipping aid, food, money, and all of that to support people trapped in IDP camps, refugees in northern Nigeria. All of this he was doing years before then. Then when he left government, he continued to do the same. So he was kind of being driven by that already. But he knows that Nigeria, you must know how to play ball if you really want to. So we saw all of that. They mocked him. And that was the moment the obedient, for the first time, they heard the word delegates. Delegates. Who are delegates? They are the people that we choose, the candidates from the aspirants. Okay. Oh yeah, now they should choose. Let everybody. They started begging PDP. PDP, please don't feud anybody. Just this guy. We know you are corrupt. We know majority of you are like that. But just this guy. Give us this guy. I remember how that time. It got to a stage. The opposition to Peter Obi started from within PDP. Because the job boys who have already set, kind of positioned themselves for different political gigs, for different PDP aspirants. Peter Obi joining the conversation and his supporters who are not PDP members, Nigerians, all these young people who have no political party, they just hear Peter Obi. Anywhere Peter Obi is Peter Obi, so they don't care. They are now making demand that insulted the younger PDP as leakers too, the vuvuzelas. They call them influencers. That this social media people, they don't even understand politics. Do you think politics is a blah, 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 blah? That Peter B himself knows that he has no chance. If PDP want to win, they have to bring somebody from the north. Because APC is going to, you know that story that time. We didn't know that all of this was because they said Peter B, no, they give shishi. No, they give shishi. No, me say, no, they give money. Oh. But he know they give money like others would give. So if these guys have to make choices, Obi will not be their choices in the name of choosing or who to support. So those, he now got to a stage whereby those who are supporting Peter Obi, they don't get party, but they are dictating to PDP. So the attack on Peter Obi started from within PDP. They mocked him. They laughed at him. Until we started hearing, or obedient for the first time, they started hearing that the delegates are so powerful, even if the candidate is the best, with the best, this with the and that, it doesn't matter. Now the candidate with the highest money. So they were shocked. Like, oh, so they still have some people that choose people before all of us. Why is that? Omana saw the campaign for Peter Obi should go and should leave PDP. Disobedient asked him to leave PDP. You know why they are calling them the mob? They said, Peter Obi cannot control them because Peter Obi didn't buy them. They chose him. He didn't choose them. Do you understand? Peter Obi didn't go out and say, I am looking for people to support me so that I can be, you know what? No, it wasn't being Mr. Nice. Kind of, it was these guys that chose him, disobedient that you are seeing. And that's why when the election was over, the charade, the usual way was that if it was PDP, APC, they would have started their sharing position among themselves, okay? Everybody would have moved on. But you see the investment that these young people and these old guys in disobedient movement, right? Their emotional, material, and every other investment they've made is so deep that you can't tell them to move on. Obi didn't choose, Obi didn't choose them. They chose him. They told him to leave PDP. In fact, it became like a even funnier joke. Some of you laughed at the joke then, I believe. If you have a regular on MaiyegunsDiary Politico, when some of this popped up. We call them clowns, Abi. Jokers and the rest. But a lot of you didn't expect this much upset in the Nigeria system coming from these people who were just 4 people tweeting from a room, right? Peter Obi now dropped the letter and said he was leaving PDP. He's an Igbo man. He's leaving the major political party. This guy is a clown. That was what they called him. And obedient, they called them novice. But the obedient were like enraged, more angrier that somebody who has shown that he's got this natural support base that PDP doesn't even have to pay money for, that they will treat him that way. I think that kind of energized them more. Few days after he left PDP, this is the storyline. Few days after he left PDP, they had a meeting, and it was the Labour Party. And for some of you who probably have not seen this before, hang on. So if you haven't seen this before, it's good. This was when they decided that it was going to be Labour Party. Give me a sec. PDP that PDP didn't need to do anything to get rid of APC and the destruction they have brought upon Nigeria. They just needed to give them Obi. So they started what they call the 1 million man march, just to prove that if you do this, you don't have to do anything anymore. And it was 1 million man march here, 1 million man march here, there and there. I documented everything on MaiyegunsDiary Politico. Then afterward, when it submitted his resignation from PDP, where next? Obi, where are you going next? You're just wasting your time, wasting this and that, right? It was a Labour Party for a short.
But for the purpose of this election, and for us to move forward our party,
so this was where I'm sorry that you can't see some of
I will step down profitably. Managing director. This is why I'm saying to you that I will give charge to Peter Obi to lead Chairman of the Electoral Committee, hereby declare Peter Obi as the flag bearer of Labour Party. This time around, he will do it better as the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. His Excellency Sir Peter Obi shall march into the assault.
The official starting point of the obedient journey to expose the corrupt political structure that people have been talking about. You need structure to be president of Nigeria. You need to build bridges. You need mentors. And all other nonsense they told you. It became the most divisive campaigns ever. And Obian is obedient. From the EU report, they were the only ones with idea-based campaign, meaningful campaign. In fact, Obi was the only person that became the source of, what do they call that? Fact-checking. If he sneezed 3 times and he says, oh, bless you. Sneeze, bless you. If he says, oh, sorry, if he says sneeze, and he says, excuse me, sneeze, excuse me, and he sneezed again and he didn't, it doesn't say, excuse me. They will accuse him of being dishonest. For example, if he says, oh, I sneezed twice earlier, they will say, you see, did Peter Obi sneezed twice? When he sneezed, they will say, no, he sneezed 3 times. So fact check. Peter Obi sneezed 3 times, but he said he sneezed twice. While Kolu was going everywhere, Tifnubu was going everywhere, telling them, yo, peace here, happiness for your children. You will reap the labor of your work. Happiness is here. Hope is here. And then they will play the music. Jagaban. Everybody vote for Jagaban. Then he will raise his broom. He will raise his broom. And they will say, wow, that was a massive campaign. We saw all of that. Abi? But that was the journey. The obedient didn't really know what was in stock for them. But they didn't care. That's what I noticed. Every sort of expose to kind of remind them where this was headed, they just didn't give a fuck. Sorry for those children who are listening, by the way. They just give a damn. These people will rig you. They will do this and that. They didn't give a damn. So what happened? They continued to demand for just free, fair election. It was this obedient movement that finally destroyed the myth of, if you want to be president of Nigeria, you need to go and build some useless relationship with some criminals called Politico bloc from northern Nigeria. There was no political bloc anywhere. The only political structure that they have maintained all this while is the structure of intimidation, structure of corruption, harassment, structure of, annihilation, harassment, and the rest. They are not actually structure of anything reasonable. Now, the obedient dismantled all of that. It got to a stage that they declared that it was haram for anybody to be associated with Peter Obi. No joke. I also documented that on MaiyegunsDiary Politico. It got so bad that nobody wanted to be his vice president. Yes, it was that bad. That Obasanjo had to start going from house to house, state to state, until he found that Ahmed, that now also damned the consequences of whatever they're going to say, those supposed power block in northern Nigeria. The rest, they say, is history. So they jumped from the underdog, from, well, they are just noisemakers, to maybe they are the third force, to maybe they should team up and then all of them should team up together to come and defeat APC, to the main force today. I mean, you'll give that to them, won't you? Mo will go back and pick up a few things from the past before we begin to have the parliament of obedience and anti-obedient too. You have your own chance. The link is in the comments, right there in the video. Open it, that's the studio. And you will join us when I say it is time. But like I said, I'll get you into it. Peter Obi that disrupted the political structure of Nigeria in a space of 10 months, with no structure, as they say, with no sort of a bribery, money, intimidation, or control of any institution. It became a movement that could have actually cleared more than 80% of those who are holding political offices in Nigeria today. And not that it's going to present to you the best of the best of the best per se, but it will do some sort of, it would have done some level of damages that those who are today controlling the level of power in Nigeria, the state capture of Nigeria today, they would have been completely retired if they didn't do the abracadabra that they said they did. So let's go back to what actually strengthened the obedience. And the man, Peter Obi, today told his supporters not to buy him anything, not to kind of do any party, whatever. They should look out for, the vulnerable, the poor, okay, the needy in their different communities. Whatever they can afford, they should reach out to them, help them, because things are really, 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 really bad in Nigeria now. And to some of the people's surprise, right? They were surprised that Peter Obi has never celebrated his birthday with the elite in the last 11 years. Okay? He's always been spending his time with the internally displaced people in Nigeria. And he continued to talk about them. That's why he's more interested in the numbers when he's talking about poverty. But like I said, a lot of you believe so much in him. You all believe that it won't, I mean, not that it's going to be so good if it was Peter Obi. But you have seen the empathy, okay, in a leader, something that tells you that, right, if he has a magic wand to change things, he will do them. But fine, he doesn't have the magic wand. But if he says, we can cut things down, some of you said you believe him. And you also believe that if it was Peter Obi, there could be a recovery time for Nigeria. Let me tell you one thing that got me kind of interested in him, myself, when he was talking about the agitation and the agitators in Nigeria. This used to be a topic that a lot of these hypocrite politicians, they have been looking away from. But when election was coming, they all started talking about things they have never been interested in. But this Peter Obi, when they asked him, he said, listen, I am not presenting myself as an Igbo candidate or Igbo, whatever. I'm presenting myself as a Nigerian, right, who understand the problems, okay? So as a Nigerian who understands, oh, hang on. There's something I want to drop.
It's very terrible. It's very terrible because we don't expect all the way it happened for now. For this Baba, our president, because I like him, I vote for him, I work for him. If you see my message, I write his name for body of my message. So I love Baba. Pass all this way. This thing, I don't know how to.
You will still know later. So he didn't present himself as somebody from the Eastern Nigeria, like, I am Igbo. Nigeria has not been so fair to us. He never presented himself as that. So when he's now talking about the people and talking about the poverty, right? He's talking about the first-hand experience and, kind of what he has been kind of living. So anyway, when he's talking about the agitators, he said, look at Nigeria. Let us be honest, okay? If you have a country who has the population of over 70% of young people between the ages of 0 to 30, those who are under 30, as the major demography of your country. And in that same country, you have over 30% unemployment, which means the young people are mostly the affected. Not just that. So when you now look at that, you have the poverty ratio, or should I say the poverty number of over 130-something million people living in extreme poverty. You are going to have terrorism. You are going to have increased crime. You are going to have agitation. That, you see, no country is really perfect in this way. But Nigeria has been so mismanaged that anything but Nigeria will appeal to anybody. Others will choose to leave Nigeria. Like, I don't want to live in this country anymore. Others will be like, no, I don't even want to be part of Nigeria anymore. And according to him, the injustice in the land, once you begin to address them, once you begin genuinely to address that poverty, okay, and people begin, these active young people are actively engaged in something more productive, then you begin to engage with those who have expressed, grievances that they want to break away. Why? Have a conversation with them. What can be done? What are the other things that can be, this is somebody who is actually a leader that can say, let's talk. Not the one that will roll out tanks, okay, to prove a point, ignoring the base reason for all of this agitation, and just want to prove strength. It never solved anything. And when he said that, I was like, well, that makes sense. They said, what do you think about restructuring? It was restructuring starts from people's anger against how they have been marginalized by Nigeria. But if all of us want to be honest, no part of Nigeria is not marginal. No part of Nigeria currently is not marginalized. So which means what will happen is Nigerians will have to come together, have a chat about their country. From that conversation, if the conversation now lead to this is how we want the country to be, a government who has the political will to call that meeting and has the political will to implement the result of that conversation is likely going to what? To have solved the whole riddle than those who have told you Nigeria unity is non-negotiable. Is Nigeria united? You see, these two things, maybe because of where I live, okay, kind of make me as well partially believe that, oh, with the track record of this guy, if Nigeria has a system that allows people to express themselves, how they feel, and those who are in charge, who claim to be the rulers of Nigeria, if they are willing and ready to look into all these vices, just maybe, we won't have to kill ourselves before we break up. That was mine. I was like, but it's never going to get there. Forget it. So that was why, but I wasn't going to discourage you and say, oh, it's not, I was like, hey, I will come back here most of the time and I will tell my people and say, hey, a lot of you are laughing at disobedient. I don't think you will be laughing for too long ago. With all of these things that I have at my own disposal, the raw information, the visual and the what have you, and the responses from different groups who are also monitoring things, it go take this APC or PDP, it go take them more than what it usually take them to rig election to stop these people. Now, when they stop them by rigging them out, it will take a lot of effort again to be able to tame them and still live and still be part of that Nigeria where peace and unity go reign. It no go reign, no. I remember saying all of this during the old time. So let's go back to some of the period. Sometimes this was I think it was in Kano or Sokoto, I'm not sure. Disobedient that is the only group of people which the Nigeria discriminative politics, divisive politics didn't work on. Okay? They were everywhere. Everywhere. North to south to northwest to northeast to north central. They were everywhere. They became a serious threat to every establishment in Nigeria. PDP, APC, Christian Association of Nigeria, Islamic Association of Nigeria, Sultan Sokoto of Nigeria, and the rest of all those who are like the real owner of Nigeria behind the scene, the establishment. It became a problem. To a point that they said Peter Obi was dividing the northern Nigeria. Peter Obi is giving the Christians in northern Nigeria, the minority they call them in northern Nigeria, to start speaking up. And that is against the One North. The Olori Burukus claiming One North. These are the fanatic jihadists, those who have benefited politically, okay, using religion for decades now. So Peter Obi became a threat, and they turned it into a religious war. They said the people of Middle Belt, they were part of northern Nigeria, so therefore it's One North. For 8 or 10 years, these jihadists, murderous, Islamic murderers or terrorists, sponsored by these Islamic jihadist criminals in government from northern Nigeria as well, they have been slaughtering, massacring the Christians in northern Nigeria. So those ones now said, if it's going to be one man, one vote, they are going to stand up. There's nothing like One North. Because during this campaign, the lie about One North or one northern Nigeria also got demystified. That didn't go down well with them, and they didn't forgive Peter Obi. So they told anybody they see with them, it doesn't matter. There were people there during that time. Nobody could be swayed because of earth. Even when those Lagos Abobakus, when they are pushing their Yoruba this, Yoruba that, the real Yorubas stood up and they told them to go to hell. Yorubas don't play this kind of dirty politics. Not even in this age and time. Not even for those who don't give a damn about the Yoruba people, right? And in fact, not even for a drug dealer, not for Tifnumbu, for goodness sake. So Yoruba stood. And like I said, the obedient became a threat to almost every abnormal thing in the establishment in Nigeria, that it became something that, you know, it was like a badge of honor to hate them. Sure you get? Oh, they are so insulting. They don't have respect. I mean, they don't listen to other people. They don't shake any. You are lying. You bunch of born liars, born slaves. Suddenly, when they say, between the devil and the deep blue sea, we used to all kind of agree that PDP was bad, APC was bad. Only for the rest of them to come back and say, nah, APC is not that bad. The devil you know. PDP is not that bad. The devil you know. But we should be all scared of what Peter B is going to do. Not what he has done, but what he's going to do to you. And it became something, Yorubas were like, go to hell. That didn't work on them. And that reflected in the election where they allowed it to take place. Abi? Now, we'll go back to all those times when everywhere you go, you'll be hearing Obi, and all of that, okay? So I want to take you back there, and then I'll come back to today. So you obedient, you did something. You disrupted the political structure of Nigeria. That until today, it doesn't seem that they are going to recover from it. For the first time, they rigged an election. And that president who they gave, that criminal that they gave it to is battling with legitimacy. It never used to be like this. Even Yaradua, that they said was the worst election conducted by Morisiwu. Morisiwu in 2007, there were places, no election, they were just writing the results. This particular one is so worse that even after they inaugurated Kolu, everywhere he goes, you can tell, fighting for legitimacy, fighting for attention, asking people to congratulate him, asking people to say sorry, to withdraw their cases, and all of that stuff. The genesis. So this guy was at a point like this.
God, we have no other country except this one. God deliver us. God free us. God liberate us. We have no other nation except this one. God deliver us, man.
A lot of the people who are his critics, they laughed. Some of the videos I'm going to bring back to you, some of them will get you emotional. Some of them would kind of get you nostalgic. And maybe some of them, if you are obedient, they will get you, renew your anger, because you know what you did. You know how much you invested. And you saw how they smuggled everything, Abi. And to this day, what you tried to stop, or you believe that you wanted to stop, is now happening today. Okay? APC has continued. Nigeria continued to go down the rabbit hole. People who try to stop them, they are now still living and suffering in the place that they once thought all they needed was what? To stand up and vote. I wish I could say sorry to you, to all of you who actually invested that time. But like I said, these are going to bring back some of the memories, if you are still here, okay? Thank you so much, Prince Akwachi. If I didn't put it on, I may completely miss it. So thanks for that super chat. That's very kind of you, right? So there he was praying, and everywhere he goes, the appearance of the sort of the acceptance is always almost like this all the time.
Our incoming president, sir. The incoming president, sir.
Oh my God!
We are obedient to you, sir. We are obedient to you, sir.
social media presidents. Some of these cash TVists, hungry social media sellers who call themselves influencers, they were even promising money. All these things now noise. Again, let's go back to another one. That's one, right? Here is another one. Some young chaps from northern Nigeria waiting for the arrival of Obi in their own state. This was, I think it was in Zaria, Kaduna or so. I'm not sure. Some of you will remember this.
Election. Winning, achieving. American for double capacity. We the greatest leader, the academic leader, the implement leader, the contemporary president, the educational president, the overqualified president, the academic president, the administrative president, the double and official also for our capacity to double
You know, nobody was giving them money. Nobody was kind of, they were funding themselves. They were mobilizing using social media to pass their information. They were holding or hosting spaces. They are, on different platforms. They were promoting, it was quite, and a lot of people were laughing, I remember. I'll show you another one, in case some of you have forgotten. Body has to pay. In fact, it became something that you remember, Abi. I'll show you another one. We are all going to the flashback, playback here. That movement that you are wondering, why are they not keeping quiet yet? How come? We thought they were going to abandon him when election came. Election came, they didn't. They stood. You saw all of that. After the election, they are still standing. This is why. That was Werewike when he thought he could also cash in on Peter Obi and Obedient movement. Okay, we all know how that ended. But you see those crowd, Werewike was probably feeling somehow in his own mind that the Riverians, the people of Port Harcourt, or those who came out there, they came out because of him. He didn't know. And he had to battle them, kill some of them, to force Tifnumbu on them in Rivers State. Remember? Okay. Let's go a little bit further. Just from the street as well. Here is one.
Peter Obi for president. Peter Obi. Peter Obi. Peter Obi. Good afternoon. We just a pass. I see say una energy too strong. Now we say we'll come back again. Make you come press the microphone. Are you obedient? Peter Obi. February 25th. Make we vote for Peter Obi. Me, I be a social Yahweh engineer, social Yahweh, and they do House of Rep. As you vote for Obi, when you vote for all the disciples, Obi don't fit do them alone. As you go there that day, when you protect everybody's vote. Because if you don't get it right on the 25th, the problem will be there 2 months. So make we deliver the mandate for our children. Not be that to collect money from politicians. After 4 years again, they will come back again. After they suffer you for 4 years. So let we get a right on the 25th. We know our people.
Volunteers. Okay. And in those places where they actually showed up, they delivered though. Here is another one. This time, this one was in Jos, Plateau State, where Peter Obi and Labour Party scored over 1.8 million votes. You heard me right, 1.8 million. And they cut until they dropped them down to patry hundreds of thousands of votes, and they gave it to him. He was back to that state today, by the way, to celebrate his 62nd birthday, where he went on to go and share the day with 18,000 refugees, Nigerians living in refugee camps in Plateau State. That's where he spent his 62nd. But before today, when he was in that same Plateau State, Jos, see him and his obedient, just a few months back. Plateau State. They were just on their way to the stadium where people were waiting for him and all that. Those were their obedience. Again, if you are watching this broadcast tonight and somehow you are not obedient, I know it may feel somehow to you like, where, you know, like, what's the big deal and all of that stuff. Of course. But the truth of the matter is that what they did, what they achieved, helped a lot of us, okay, at least to see something that has finally given credibility to our own belief that Nigeria cannot be helped. Election can't save Nigeria. The entire system is built not to work until you demolish the entire system, and those who are sitting on those wooden high table as your rulers until they perish. So something has to happen. But those who did something so close to it are the obedient. They shook the foundation. Even if you have, even if some of you, okay, who are actually ethnic bigots, religious fanatics, and those who love this ethnic baiting nonsense, if that picture you are still holding is to undermine what they have done simply because of the damages they have done to the establishment, including those criminals in your APC, PDP, listen to me, I can't help you. For the sake of posterity, it is always good to put this on record. They did something so close to destroying the establishment in Nigeria. And it depends on your own conviction. I know some of you will believe that Obi is not different from the same criminals, okay? And therefore, continue to ignore the real obedient, the real people who are actually behind, and the reason behind this whole disruption. So you can put Obi and whatever you have of him as the front of your sense of reasoning, by then rubbishing whatever other things, by saying Obi deceived them, Obi misled them, anything that gets you to sleep well at night, please hold on to it. But the truth of the matter is that facts don't lie, okay? In fact, like I said, a lot of you were even, banking on the fact that when their influence got so intoxicating and so strong that a lot of you were so scared that these guys may pull it off, okay? And Obi could be your president. You were hoping, a lot of you were hoping that they will rig them out. Or, in fact, you were expecting them to be rigged out because you wanted to teach them a lesson. Remember? You saw how they were cheated. And a lot of you cheered them on because you couldn't take the humiliation that the people you once called noisemakers, social media noisemakers, they were able to pull millions of votes that, if not because of the manipulation that you know about, they would have defeated PDP, APC right before your very eyes. But we know that they won't let that happen. And why? Because of the corrupt system that you there. So it is, it won't be the first time that a lot of you will be living in denial. It'll be the same life, and it'll be the same word we did before obedient come out and they started what they started. It'll be the same word we did that we agree that PDP and APC must go. Then the moment you had the chance of kicking them out, you started telling us why religion matter, why tribe and ethnic matter. And you started living that your fake lie, looking for every excuse to justify your xenophobia. It's okay, but the truth is this. It doesn't matter how you feel, okay? There are some certain things that will never change. And things like what I'm sharing with you tonight, they are part of things that will never change. And it doesn't matter how you feel about it. They shook your leaders to their bones. A lot of you were so quiet for days. You couldn't even post a single picture or video of where Tifnumbu or Atifku won an election because you were waiting to see how much damages these people have done to your structure of criminality. So it's okay if you turn around and begin to kind of gaslight them, make what they have done look like, what is it? At least he came third. You know he didn't come third. You know he didn't come third. But of course, you actually wished and hoped, and as you wanted, that they will use the establishment, the system, to push him to distant third. Some of you were projecting it. So to satisfy that your whimsical mind, I don't even know what that means. I just know that it's something low. It suits your narrative when they finally rigged it and they announced a sick drug lord as the president of Nigeria. At least anybody but Obi. Anyone but Obi. So finally you got Kolu. So why won't you want to jump into a conversation that actually want to really acknowledge and will continue to acknowledge what they have done? It's like saying you won the you won the war, but you lost the battle. Okay? The war was what they call the Save Nigeria War. And if Nigeria was saved by Nigerians genuinely, not twisted, not shortchanged, there's possibility that they may bring unity into it. They may bring understanding into it. They may even bring patriotism back into it. So what happened? Save Nigeria from APC. So APC also said, save Nigeria from the mob, from this obedience and all that nonsense. You also help them share during the campaign, before and during and after. All the bigotry you have secretly promoted because this actually suited the exact result you wanted it to be. So congratulations. But here we are, APC, Egbekegbe. They purportedly said they won the war, okay? But they lost the real battle. The battle is for the soul of Nigeria that has become almost dead now, okay? Patriotism is dead. Leadership is dead. Good governance is dead. Even human rights is dead. Everything is dead, okay? So you won the war or you rigged the war. You still lost the battle. Where is the peace? Where is the unity? Where is the progress? Where is the prosperity? In 2 months, they have shaken your lives. Like a roller coaster, more than you have experienced in the last 6 years at least. You will teach them a lesson. They tried. They did try. But if you are still living in that your euphoria, Obi will never be president. The bottom line is this. Now you have a president. How far is he going with your life? We will never find out anyway. What is Obi going to do differently? We will never find out. Because you have helped them legitimize a criminal and then a terrorist, okay, that promised you nothing. You can't even hold them to anything right now, right? So you rigged the war and you lost the battle. How far with Nigeria? How far with you? Let's continue the flashback. Here is another one.
We are united together, and that is true. That is how it should be.
Ade Williams, is that you? No, Optimus Media. He said Maiyegun more like rigged the battle, lost the war. Either way, Jare, you shall get what I'm trying to say. Because I consider that charade as war, unnecessary war. They killed people. Obedient were told not to come and campaign in Lagos. Remember? If they come to Lagos, they will attack them. People were hiding under Third Mainland Bridge to attack the convoy of Obedient in Lagos. Don't forget that now. People were campaigning. Obi was campaigning in Lagos Stadium. Those who managed to make it to the stadium, they were all bloody. They were stitching people's body for just going to a rally of their own political party in Lagos. Don't forget that. This was before elections. So they amputated. You know what I mean? People jumped out of under the bridge of Third Mainland Bridge in that water. They came out of that bridge. In that traffic on Third Mainland Bridge, they were stabbing Obedient in their. Some people had their arms amputated before election at all. Here you get. So I called it war. To me, it's war. That wasn't an election. It was war. Here you get. So, even at that, it wasn't a war of weapons or what have you. It was more or less like war of ideas. The old order, the new order. Those who don't want to continue with the old order and they want to try something new. And those who believe that, no, trying something new is unacceptable, and they went violent about it. But like I said, idea no matter. You get what I'm trying to, I'll show you another one.
You can make video from here. You can make video from here now. Because I think they will scatter later.
They had this celebration in Kano in one of their successfully held rallies after Obi went there. And it was like this. It's called After Party in Kano. See them.
Wani party za mu zaba? Kai, alheri ya iso. Wasu sun ce da mu yi sansiya ga shi ta sharo mu cikin gida. Ta hana ku ta kai mu cikin gida. Ku zo mu ga fesa obin kasa karshen ta hanya ta iso. Kai, alheri ya iso. Wasu sun ce da mu yi.
One of those, yeah? Nostalgic, Abi. Take a look at this one.
Sa Sunday Peter. Yes, sir. No, Sunday Peter. But sir. Say obedient, so obedient. Say obi, say obi, say obi. Say obi, say obi, say obi, say obi, say obi.
It was like if you were holding Peter Obi, anything Peter Obi in some part of northern Nigeria, it was like you are just asking to be attacked. Like you are, it's like you are provoking people. It became something like provocative to this intolerant jihadists in northern Nigeria. There are those who actually went out. It was like putting their lives on the line. That was how bad it was in northern Nigeria. But they still kind of came out. But you know, when it comes to the people of Rivers, those ones go help you at the Jara. When they saw Obi, this is what it was like.
The president is here. These are not ants, these are crowds.
These are not ants, these are crowds. These are not ants, these are crowds. These are not ants, these are crowds. P2B is in Rivers State. Go and tell them that Rivers State is obedient. Go and tell them that Rivers State is obedient. Tell them that P2B is for Rivers State. Go and tell them. Go and tell them that P2B is for Rivers State. Go and tell them that P2B is for Rivers State. Rivers State is obedient. Tell them that Rivers State is obedient. Tell them. This is Rivers State. And Rivers State is obedient.
Like I said, the obedient declared today as Peter Obi's day. And I choose that to kind of have them on MaiyegunsDiary Politico to probably tell us more, because these are, those who kind of believed that Peter Obi was good for Nigeria. And now that this is happening, they are kind of coming out to say they have been vindicated, that if it was him, he will never, ever, ever go this route. That Nigerians will continue to kind of, or better still, those who are in government will continue to flaunt it over your faces that you are the only ones who should suffer. They can't really suffer. You know what I mean? Like, they are awarding themselves humongous salary package, billions and billions for these few people. But for yourselves, you just have to endure. Some people believe that Peter Obi will not sign up for that. And if you also go the route that people will suffer, disobedient believe that he will never approve any money or support any kind of funding. This Tifnubu just approved. And it's going to get worse. So they feel vindicated. Okay? So let's continue. I've got more. Let me see. I think this one.
Get on your way. Under rain. See crowd. See crowd. See crowd. Jesus. Under rain. Under rain. Under rain. Under rain. Jesus. Under rain.
Sorry, you got a bado.
And God forbid.
You got a
God forbid.
I'm going to give 50 million youth. Army.
Hey! Army. We know what. We know what. We know what. What Bobo Jews. We know what. We know what. We are taking back our country. We are taking back our country. See crowd. More they come. See crowd under rain. Which kind of law won't pass this kind of thing? This is organic crowd. This is organic crowd. This is organic crowd. We call for 2 million, we see 4 million. 2 million mass, we see 4 million. The whole Politico shut down. Aba road, nowhere to pass. Where this crowd from come? Where this crowd from come? Nigerians are tired of bad governments. People sharing our money, buying skyscraper in Dubai. Taking our money to buy skyscraper in Dubai. Using our money to indirectly buy the whole country in their name and their family. We don't tire. We don't tire. Now one life everybody get to live. Justice and equity. Now what we want. Make the thing go round. Everybody cannot be millionaire. We know, but yet make things go okay for the common man. Make things go okay for the common man. If you don't have vision for this country, don't come to lead. Sit at home. If you are too old, sit at home and babysit your grandchildren. We don't tire for bad government. We don't tire. We don't tire. We don't tire. Under rain, see crowd. Under grain, see crowd. This one no be rally when they give one person 1,000 naira to come out. Shishi will not give. Shishi they no give. For presidency, P2B. Shishi will not give. Where this crowd from come? Where this crowd from come? Shishi they no give. Shishi they no give. Where this crowd from come? Where this crowd?
Nigeria is so corrupt, which I regret the day I was born in this country. It's unfair. This is unfair now. This is unfair. Nigeria.
Fear. Sure you get. All of that was what Werewike blew up and used never seen before terrorism to twist just to force Kolu on them. That happened. Like I said, I know we have a lot of us on right now. So we must agree, especially with Kolu here, that pressure wa and pressure tiwa.
Ó ti dojú ẹ̀ sẹ́yìn. Ó ti dojú ẹ̀ sẹ́yìn. Ó ti dojú ẹ̀ sẹ́yìn. Ó ti.
But again, I still have a few I want to share with you, because this whole thing it wasn't just Nigeria. Even people where they are abroad, more people they buy ticket to say they want to go and vote in Nigeria election. I was like, whoa. About this Peter Obi must have a lot of Nigerians. So let us be honest, who has such influence? A lot of people are trying to get out of Nigeria, and in fact, getting out of Nigeria. But some of them are planning to go back. They were spending thousands of dollars on air tickets to go and vote for Peter Obi in Nigeria election. Not this much. He did it. But before the election too, they called themselves the obedient abroad. I be diaspora obedient. Now them get money pass. At a point, the establishment in Nigeria, they were now saying that those who were funding obedient groups and movement, they were from abroad. They were Nigerians too, not really directly affected by the destruction of Nigeria. They just want something to work. They too are possibly watching me right now, and they'll be like, I am convinced that he is the one, he could do better. All the way from America.
Wave your flag, wave your flag, wave your flag. It's just a deal as possible. Wave your flag, wave your flag. It's possible. Our great Nigeria is here. For better infrastructure, for better life, for better hospitals.
We have no blinker of electricity. They spend more than $60 billion They forget that transmission line is a super highway for generated electricity and power. They could not even make a down payment for a roasted corn for that electricity.
Àtisebo, àtisete, àti ń parọ́ tipẹ́, àtisete, òtítọ́ òdìmú òdodo òsì mọ́, àtisete, kágbọ́dé fáláre, àtisete, kágbẹ̀bí fáláre, àtisete adájọ́ ń parọ́ torí owó, àtisete òtìlú ń parọ́ nítorí ipò, àtisete, èdò gbówó mìíràn, àtisete.
Atishete. Today, all of you who tried to prevent something like this, you were those they told that they will teach you a lesson. Baba, look at the people they are now teaching lesson. You try to stop this, oh.
You don't know how much they sell for. If I don't fire small, I will leave her. The thing will go, it go down free. If you don't that free, it's complacent. You know that? I don't manage my phone small. See the way I mean, I need the buy for me. Almost sure. JJ now they pay. No be motor they move like this. If you don't slow small, I will start that again. Fire small, offer. If you no be go with the go so.
What do you say go see for gate like this?
The video me now. But I don't know how much they sell for it. The person come tell me say they use for it, they wait for traffic lights. And they place. Now you don't slow down now.
Why you collect money now? See wahala. And I thought I enter motor like this. Again, you are just get down.
Let's be poor. Breathe. Don't suffocate them. We have that responsibility.
Responsibility. In 2 months, we will got to change you. But going forward, again, I still have 1 or 2 to share with you before you, the obedient or obedient critics, can join this conversation for the next 1 hour once I finish with this. Okay. Here is also a part throwback as well for tonight, ladies and gentlemen. This time around, Peter Obi, in one of those outings, captured a flashback.
I'm not business school. I'm not of Oxford University. I'm not of Cambridge. I can go on and on. And I'm happy to introduce my wife here. Today, this is the first time we are presenting to you for the first time in Nigeria since Nigeria started. For the first time in Nigeria, since Nigeria started, Labour Party is producing what has never happened before. We are now going to offer you our chairman, national chairman, presidential candidate, and vice presidential candidate. The 3 most important people in this journey are all born after independence. For the first time in Nigeria. For the first time in Nigeria. If you take the average age of APC candidate is 75. PDP candidate is 71. Wait. PDP candidate is 71. Our own is 62. 20 years difference. Chairman of the three parties. This one is 75, 71, this one is 52. So you can see, candidate, I don't want to say anything. Because some say we don't know their age. In the election of this year will be by competence. Yes, sir. We want people who are competent. We want people who have the capacity. We want people who have compassion. So they know when people are suffering. We cannot continue the way we are going now. It is impossible. You voted for umbrella. He leaked. Suffering for you. You voted for broom. They voted for poverty. Now we want you to vote for human being. So contact the person. Mama. We care about mama. We care about papa. We care about the king. That is the beginning of your life. Our commitment is total. I and Daddy have said, hold us responsible for a new Nigeria. We will change this Nigeria. We will give you exactly how many the growth of Nigeria annually. We will stop all this stealing. None of us have stolen money from government. Our record is clear. They told them stingy because they've stolen all the money. That is what they want. They want to buy your vote. If they give you money, they can tell you so. They can tell you money. Vote for us. And your money. See, all I'm promising you is that the new Nigeria is possible. Daddy and I will build a new Nigeria. We are going to bring new people. You can see who is in our senior in Abuja is a woman. This government is going to be government of youth and women. We will empower Papa, Mama, Papa, Mama, Mama, Papa. You see the king the nation every day. And that's the king who wants to make it grow. The well. The people who want they keep the king. So, go out there on election day, vote for Labour Party, LP.
It's very terrible. It's very terrible because we don't expect all the thing wey e happen for now for this Baba our president because I like him. I vote for him. I work for him. If you see my message, I write his name for body of my message. So I love Baba pass all this way. This thing wallahi I don't know how to. It's very terrible. It's very terrible.
Many people are in the bank because many people are dying. Everything are doing. Pressure ti wà. Mbazo Yoruba. Gbogbo nǹkan ṣẹlẹ̀ ń lu yìí. Pressure ti wà. Èyìnbó kò ṣe sọ. Ṣé ìlú lé? Fún wa lówó wa, ànáwó ẹ̀ wá sọ wá di lazy youth. Now ẹ̀ sọ wá di lazy youth.
You know, it's just that switch. The switch from we're going to do this and that and everything that went down and all that, and then to what you have arrived at today. So yes, it's going to be the next 90 minutes, okay, for all of you, the obedient. Okay, come and tell us what makes your conviction, that conviction that this Nigeria that they have skeletoned, the one that they have emptied, you're somehow convinced, or you are convinced that if it was so be, it would be a different thing. Or you just want to share this time to say happy birthday to him as well, because that's what I have seen so far. You've taken over the whole global space to show your appreciation for a man that did not abandon you for the easy one by joining the oppressors that you are trying to run away from. He lost friends A lot of his friends, he said a lot of his friends don't pick his call anymore. They were avoiding him. They didn't want to be seen with him, so that whatever they are benefiting from Nigeria system, they won't lose them. He still remains steadfast. You have seen it all. But for today and for the record, it will be a great thing to be part of this. And everybody is welcomed, okay? So I already have people who are already waiting. Okay, the link is in that description. If you check that video very well, to participate, it is not phone calls, so there's no point in calling in. Don't call in. Okay, so what happened is that you open that link on a device. If you want to use your phone or laptop or iPad, just make sure that the device you want to use is not the same device that you are watching this broadcast with. All right, you won't be able to. Okay, so then make sure that your camera is on and you are in a place that is not crowded, noisy, or dark. We need to see your face. Also, put on some clothes. I know it is late in some places right now. Please don't join us from your bedroom where you are naked or half naked. Okay? I won't let you join. Apart from that, I am just going to be here to listen to all the wonderful things you have to say about a demand that changed the political narratives in Nigeria. And those who once claimed they wanted a working country, a good country, away from these rogues, they had to agree with their oppressors to stop him. So those of you who have remained, you've been called, name tagged, and the rest of that. Now, I would love to see you express how you do feel. It is random. Imagine if one of the visitors happened to be Peter Obi himself. Not expecting, no. But before we get to that part, before I start taking everybody in, on the occasion of his 62nd birthday, right? This is how he spent that today. Some of the videos I've seen online are the obedient going to, charity homes and all of these needy people's homes and all that, giving them stuff. Some are even giving people money online. Okay, if you're obedient, gather here. If you're obedient, gather here. Obedient, gather here. I've been seeing all of that, where people are already giving money to themselves in their own celebration of Peter Obi birthday. But the man himself, he was in Mangu, a local government area that has come under several terrorist attacks in the past and in the recent time, right? Over 500 people have been killed in less than 2 months in Plateau State alone, okay? Since this Tifnumbu came to power or has been, sworn in. So this is the guy on his own 62nd birthday. Just short clip, not long.
Somebody's calling.
Madam will deliver. Let me shout. Madam will deliver my message. Okay, Madam will give people my message. I've seen the traditional ruler. I've got to see the traditional ruler. Madam will give people my message. I left the message to him. But let me assure you, as long as you're here, Nigeria is in IDP camp. You must go back to your place. So Madam will tell you what we said in the palace. I've seen the governor, I've seen everybody. The rest assured, we are committed to ensuring that you return to your villages. Thank you for your commitment. Thank you and God bless you.
In Plateau State, where Nigerians who have been displaced by terrorists have been living under the the worst inhumane conditions. They are not the Nigerian government's priority. Rather, they have opened shop on them. Different, under Bokwari, billions and billions, hundreds of billions of naira were stolen in the name of rehabilitating the, rehabilitating those affected by terrorism. Unfortunately. And I love the fact that he continued to say, that's not the first time. I remember him saying same thing that as long as any Nigeria is there, if there's one Nigeria living in IDP camp in any part of Nigeria, it is the whole Nigeria that is in captivity, living in IDP camp. He's very good with words. And somehow a lot of people don't know how he managed to win this organic support. They don't care to know. That's why they want to run you down. They want to talk down on you. They want you to feel less. You are telling them that you will teach them a lesson. Now, who is now learning lesson now, if you ask me? Anyway, like I said, I actually love people who have empathy, by the way. Sure you get. And those who are very consistent with such. I kind of like that. I have this special place in my heart for people who love, who care for other people. And when you care for people that you don't expect anything in return, that is the best of the best care you can give. People you can give to, but cannot actually, they can't give you back. And that is why when you see the organization that I am part of, the convener of, and all other people who are also working with me on this kind of idea, right? Yoruba Union. You see, when you go to the interland, when you go to the heartland of some of, or should I say, when you go to some of these communities in different parts of Nigeria, if you make it your duty, like a regular, consistent one, you'll be so shocked with the level of, you know what I mean? The level of poverty, the level of ignorance, and the destruction this has done to people, ruined them. So every time you have a chance of helping, you wish that the government who has the actual tool to build institutions that will care for those who are vulnerable, especially in times of this vulnerability like this, unfortunately, rather than them help the vulnerable, they just ended up milking them. So yeah, as you know, as the convener of the Yoruba Union with other people in my own team too, we have been doing something similar since we discovered the level of poverty and the level of ignorance and how powerless some of our people are, even if they want to fight back. A lot of them have no strength to actually really fight. But when I say strength, not the strength of stamina, I'm talking about, you know, something that you can say you are living for, something that keeps your mind and soul together, you know, where you can actually think, reason, and probably begin to feel like you deserve better than what you have right now. So if you are a politician, you might want to go into political way and see if you can help them with that. But if you are not, there's always going to be something that will actually get you more angrier with what Nigeria has become. As you are watching this broadcast, Yoruba Union, an organization that is indeed using, you know, using the little resources we have to share and spread love, and at the same time to educate and enlighten our people, the situation we found ourselves and what they can do. In fact, if everybody is well informed, we can help ourselves. Yoruba Union, which you know about anyway. So as you're watching this video, there is something going on that I'm going to bring the report to you. Some of our money, some of our own resources that we put together, we are reaching out to the vulnerable too. I'll share this partly, this story of this guy. I'll tell you what he said, but when you're merely looking at the video, we tell the whole story. A young man, all right? I don't know what actually caused this. I don't know if it is called gingering or what. I don't know. You would tell me. He lost his 2 legs because he stepped on something. And because of this, he became immobile. Now, Yoruba Union put together little resources to kind of reach out to this kind of people. We didn't know the story is even more deeper than that. Just give him something and all that. Take a look at Lukman from Kwara State, a Yoruba man that is suffering from a debilitating health condition that has made him to lose his legs. And as it is, the leg continued to kind of peel off and peel until, you know, it is a very sad one. And I'm sorry if I get you upset for watching this. I'll tell you what he said. after. Then we're going to start our parliament. The obedient, no vex, so I won't sneak this in. It's about reaching out and helping people. And in today's obese, birthday, asking all of you to go and help people and all that, we do something similar too. And we are actually going to make this case a special one. This case is very special. I'll tell you more about it. Watch this.
Orúkọ mi Lukman Abdulsalam.
Ọmọ ìlú wo ni sir?
Ọmọ Amáyọ̀ ni mí.
All right. Kí ló ṣe yín? Kí ni ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ tó ṣe yín?
Ní November 16, 2015, mo kàn rí pé mo kàn notice pé mo dédé jí nìkan bíi 5 after 5 ní ìdájí. Mo dẹ̀ jáde pé kí n lọ tọ̀. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni mo rí mo kàn notice pé mo tẹ̀ nǹkan mọ́lẹ̀. So láti gbà yẹn ni mo ti wà lẹ́nu ẹ̀. So wọ́n operate ẹsẹ̀ kan. Nígbà tó di 2020 again, second one bẹ̀rẹ̀. Second one ni kò wá sóní ìrànlọ́wọ́ kankan mọ́ tí ìyá àti bàbá fi kú. So mo wà lórí ìdùbúlẹ̀ complete 4 months. Tẹ́sán yẹn fi jẹrà fúnra rẹ̀ tó fi rí bọ́ ni.
Ó jẹrà, ó wá rí bọ́.
Iná mo fi ní pẹ̀tù. Ó jẹrà fúnra rẹ̀ tó fi rí bọ́ ni. So egungun ìrẹsì wá ń ta. So gbogbo àwọn ẹran yìí ló ṣe tún.
Iṣẹ́ wo lẹ ń ṣe gẹ́gẹ́ kó tó di pé.
Mẹkáníìkì ni mí.
Okay, mẹkáníìkì tèwọ́ ṣe ti mọ́tò ní.
Mẹkáníìkì mọ́tò.
Àbítọ̀
ọ̀gá aṣẹ́dẹ̀ ni mí.
Ní Bẹ́gà, Àpápá road ní Bẹ́gà. Kí lẹ wá fẹ́ káwọn ọmọ Nàìjíríà ṣe fún yín báyìí?
Fẹ́ káwọn ọmọ Nàìjíríà ràn mí lọ́wọ́. Ìgbádùn kò sí àlàáfíà fún mi mọ́. Pẹ̀lú egungun ẹsẹ̀ mi tó wà ń ta yìí. Ọmọ 4 ti wà. Ìyàwó mi ti fi mí lẹ̀ lọ. Láti gba ẹsẹ̀ first time. So kò sí ìrànlọ́wọ́ kankan mọ́. Ìyá mi ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ kú December 25. Bá mi ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ kú ní January 2nd. So kò sí onírànlọ́wọ́ kankan fún mi. Wíṣì àti mo lò kan ó ti bàjẹ́. Mo kàn pọ̀n mi wá ta láàárọ̀. Mi kàn wá jókòó sí ibà. Wọ́n fẹ́ kí ọmọ Nàìjíríà ràn mí lọ́wọ́. Bí ìṣe ní kú báyìí. Tèmi náà fi lè tọ́jú ọmọ mi. Torí kò sí onírànlọ́wọ́ kankan mọ́. Wọ́n ní kí n wá owó wá. Wọ́n á operate ẹsẹ̀ mi 350. Láti bí 2 years kò sí ẹni kankan. Gbogbo nǹkan tí mo ní ni mo ti tà. Oúnjẹ mo fi ń jẹ pẹ̀lú mi àtàwọn ọmọ mi. Wọ́n á bẹ gbogbo ọmọ Nàìjíríà kó ràn mí lọ́wọ́. Kó má jẹ́ n kú báyìí torí ọmọ mi. Kó má jẹ́ kí ọmọ mi di ọmọ lọ́mọ.
A little bit of petting. Help me mute your microphone. Do some of you on. Let me see if I can mute this. Okay, I think I could do that myself. Let's see. So now, if you want to be part of this chat, like I said, it is just a medium for the obedience to come and tell us what we don't know about it. If you want to be part of this you just mute everyone joining. To come and tell mute your microphone. I don't know if you can hear me. Mr. Bello Tundesa, I muted you earlier anyway, so I think it unmuted itself. So sorry about that. Yes, so what Lukman was saying, for those who didn't understand Yoruba, was that he stepped on something a few years back, and he's been then he lost his 2 legs to that whatever that disease is, and the legs still continue to sort of rotten as we speak. Here you get. So, and he said one that really breaks out. Okay, number one, his wheelchair is broken, so we're already giving him a new one. We've given him a brand new one. All right. Then he said something about him being treated for a patry 300,000 or 350,000 naira, and for 2 years, all he was making was just to feed himself. He could only barely feed himself. He's got 4 kids. His wife left him since this predicament. That really got to me. When you have, when people who are mostly forgotten, are those who are living in the rural areas where the poverty and the destruction brought about by bad leadership in Nigeria really reflects on. So Obi met them one-on-one. I haven't met these people one-on-one, okay? But if I open my diary for you, I have loads of people who have already been signed up onto the Yoruba Union. People we are going to actually reach out to with any peanut and little we have, then we'll have a talk with them until we have enough of them who, number one, will understand why they are where they are, and how can they get out of it. How do you get out of it? It's only by being armed with the right information, so that those who put you there, they will not continue to press you down there or prevent you from coming out of it. So if you have the right information, that's the belief. So yeah, if you are already added, remember you need to put your camera on, and I can see the obedient who have already joined. I'm going to be bringing them on one by one, and then we're going to share the slot. And then I remember, please, if you are joining me, you need to be in a place where you have enough light over your face, okay? And you don't have to join me by lying down like this is some kind of FaceTime call, okay? You can't do that. I won't bring you up at all. I can see everybody from behind before I bring them on. So remember this. It's just you trying to tell us what we don't know. And at the same time, use this time to probably send a message to your fellow obedient, if you are an obedient yourself. If you're just an independent observer, it's also welcome. Let's keep all our views and what have you short so that we can have as many people as possible, okay? So here we are. I want to broaden the screen so that I can, remember this. We can identify ourselves by the names. I'm going to put my own name on so that you can put yours, or yours can show up too. Give me a sec. This is me just arranging everything to suit what we want to do. So thank you. So without delay or wasting any much of our time, I know that your conversation will start with happy birthday and then anything that follows, but let's keep it short. Maybe 2-3 minutes, all right? And we'll go to the next person and to the next person and all that, okay? And thank you. Mr. Bello. Tunde, it's like you are wearing your own ID identity. You don't need introduction. So I'm going to start with you, sir, okay? We'll go to Jude. It's good to see you again, Jude. So you just go next, okay? After Mr. Tunde Tibelo. So then come down to Simi.
Good afternoon. Yes, sir. Good afternoon from Dallas, Texas.
Good afternoon to you, sir. Just a moment, let's share the slot. So then we're going to go to Simeon. Sir, Simon, you're going to be the next, okay? After Jude. Then I'm going to come to Faith Okwedo. My brother, sir.
Yeah. My
Okay.
Scottish
Oza
brother.
Sele, Baba. You are going to go after Okwedo, my brother. Then I'm going to come to Juden. I'm sharing this based on how you all came on. Even when I was talking, some of you are already in the background. And the first person was Mr. Tibelo. So we're going to start with him. Then, Juden, you're going to hold you are going to be the one to hold the baton for the next set of people that are going to join us. Always remind me, sir. Okay. So, yeah, we have seen what the obedient have done, what you have achieved. And as much as the old, those who are supposed to be called the fascists and the mob are passing it on to kind of tag you, you all seems not to be sort of dissuaded or so. So now we have it. Obi's Day. This is the second birthday. Who is it to you? Let's start with Mr. Tibelo. Sir.
Good afternoon, everybody from Dallas, Texas. Congratulations to a mentor, a godfather, a God-fearing man, Peter Gregory Obi. I met Peter Obi personally October 2nd when he visited us in the United States, particularly Dallas, Texas. And before then, I was part of the people who followed him to the mayor of Dallas, where he was given the honorary citizenship. We had a mini symposium with him where we tactically, because Nigeria, I once ran for House of Representatives, I'm from Kogi State, Kaba.
Right.
So I know what it means to be in politics. So we had to put him into serious question. What do you have for Nigeria? What are your antecedents apart from your antecedents we know? And it was not that there's one big man or small picking everywhere. Everybody was the same thing, including His Excellency. And he answered everybody's question one by one with reasons, with solutions and everything. So I'm proud, despite being a Yoruba man, to be an obedient. Then when we now had the main conference, there were close to 700 or 800 people in the hall. He answered, even organizers said, no, they should reduce questions. He said, no. He answered everybody's question and see why the young people, the diasporans, everybody have to come back home. And he said something. He said when they said they were creating office of faith, what caused me to become glued to him? That when they said they were creating office of first lady when he was government, he said, no, the Bible says wife and husband, they are one. So him and his office, anything they are going to do will be one. There will be no office of the first lady. So happy birthday to my own president, to our own president in waiting in a few months, in Jesus' name, in Allah's name, and by God's grace, we have a person who will fix Nigeria. Congratulations to His Excellency, the President of Nigeria, in waiting in months, Peter Gregory Azubike Obi. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. That was very beautiful. I appreciate that. And I bet we are going to see more of that. So thank you, sir. You should have a wonderful evening. Now from Texas, we just had Mr. T. Bello. So I'm going to go to Jude. Brother, how are you?
Mr. Maiyegun, the general, the field marshal. Good evening. It's nice to be on the platform once more. Good evening, my fellow parliamentarian. Today, it's indeed a great day for all Nigerians, especially the youths. I'm speaking not as an obedient, but I'm speaking as a Nigerian, and Mr. Peter Obi happens to be my past governor in Anambra State. And while he was the governor in Anambra State, I personally felt the impact he made in Anambra State with the good infrastructural security tactics and economical growth and otherwise. And it's just so painful that a lot of Nigerians are actually not happy because of the outcome of the elections. Although most of us in the diasporas, we did advise that they should learn to manage their expectations, because the system is so corrupt that it will take more than just a mere election to get rid of them. Today is a happy day. I've sent my congratulations message both on Instagram, on Twitter, and we all actually wish him the best. And we hope, although we are managing our emotions, but we hope the judiciary stands at the path of justice and give the Nigerian people what they truly deserve. And once more, happy birthday to Mr. Peter Gregory Obi Okutendebo. We love you, and we wish we had a better country. You can actually implement some of your principles and policies, but it's so painful and unfortunate that in a jungle like Nigeria, your ideas are only welcome to we the youths and we that have lived outside the jungle. But the retread bastards, sorry to use the word bastards, who are the leaders, who foresee the affairs of the nations, they don't actually care about us. But still, we anticipate for the best, and we wish him, we pray for long life, prosperity, and God's guidance, and God should enrich him in more wisdoms, and most of all, protect him against his frenemies. When I mean frenemies, those that appear as his friends, but they are working behind the doors against him. If you should check after the election, he has actually been standing alone. A lot of people actually left, and you can know how painful it could be when you look at your back before the election, you saw the mammoth crowd, you saw the confidence, and after the elections, everything disappeared. It must be very depressing for him. We all are humans, but still he's been standing strong. He has actually proven to the good people of Anabarians that giving him the title Kutendi Igbo, which is the stone of the Igbo race, was not just a mere yardstick that it can stand and withstand the test of time. And happy birthday once more, the youth president-elect. Because when we were shouting advising the Abadomites and the Lagos Abobakus, it's not about it will favor my family. I could recall telling one Lagos Abobaku that in less than 50 days after the swearing in, you guys will miss Buhari. The guy was like, over my dead body, is there anything worse than Buhari? I was like, okay. In less than 50 days. And when it was actually 50 days, I put a call across to him, bro, how far? Are you missing Buhari already? He was like, oh boy, I wish Buhari ran for third term. I laughed and I was like, you still have 8 more years. It's not just, you still have 8 more years. This is just 2 months. It's just 50 days.
Thank you so much. Okay. Let's
right.
go to the next parliamentarian as well who wants to drop one. But that's quite classic. Thank you, Baba. You have a good one, okay? Nice one, man. So that's Jude. Now I'm going to go to our next person. You will need to help me. I think it's Simon or Simeon, sir. Is that you? You can unmute, sir. Yes.
No, it's me, Faith.
I just done that.
Oh, is it Faith? It's you, right? So Simeon comes after you.
Yeah.
Right, let's go to Faith. Sorry, sir. I'm sorry to, you will need me with this. So yeah, Faith, please. You're short.
Yeah, a quick one. Happy birthday to my president, Peter Obi. You are a beacon of hope to us in the diaspora and to the world. You gave us hope. You gave us hope. You make us to come out to say, yes, something can change in our beloved country called Nigeria. Why I pick Obi personally, that I watched him when he was a governor, before he became a governor in Anambra State, when he was being rigged out by the system. I watched his write-up. I was keep reading his write-up in the newspaper. I saw how he fought endlessly, keep updating everybody what is going on till he won that case. And when he came on board, he streamlined everything that is work. He able to deal with the cabal, the godfather in Anambra State. I said, this is the person. Before I vowed to want to come out for presidency, I told my friends that this is the only man I can see in the system that's upright. The others are just when he teamed up with Tinubu, with Atiku during Buhari era, I was angry. Honestly, I say that's a wrong thing. Honestly, but thank God he was able to cut off from that person. And also, Obi is the man. He's the man that understands how the system works. All these excess things that is going on, no. It's all rubbish. I want to say, Obi, once again, we get our money through you. By special grace of God, you're going to be in the Asu Rock and you're going to make this work out for us. More hope, more grace to you.
Nice, Oliver.
To the obedient movement, to the patriotic Nigerians that believe that Nigeria will work. I say, God bless us.
See you. Nice one there, Baba. That's another one from the faith.
More grace to the movement.
It's always good to hear, and it's a media where people actually can also send their own heartfelt messages by adding some other Jara to it as well. How they feel. It's been interesting so far, yeah. So if you are still watching me on Facebook, okay, you can still like this broadcast, okay. If you're watching on YouTube, you should do the same. You only have to do it once. You don't need to do it twice, okay? Now, I am going to go to Sir Simeon. I have a new entrant, but I haven't introduced them. But it's good that they are all seated because the session has already begun. So yeah, I will introduce them. Let's go to Simon, sir. You there?
Yes. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Loud and clear, please.
Oh, perfect. My name is pronounced Simeon.
Oh, it's Simeon. Okay, nice one.
Yes. So this is the face of the engineer that calls from Australia.
Amazing.
Yes.
Brilliant, sir.
I just want to touch a little bit of stuff here and there, but first I would just want to wish Peter Obi happy birthday. He's the only politician in Nigeria so far that all the old politicians cannot have one single thing to show against him. So it's been a big problem for them. He has always told them, go and verify. And none of them could come up with anything. That is different. It's morning here. I'm actually preparing to travel. I'll be traveling in the next 2 hours. I have one advice for one person, and that person's name is Shore. Shore should understand that he's been an activist. Activism doesn't mean that you have to be in politics to be able to do what you do. You might be a good activist, but that does not make you a good administrator. We have been in activism before Shore came. Don't look at my face. If I tell you my age, you'll be shocked. So all that, I used to see his video, he tends to criticize Obi so much. Even before the election, he used to say some bad stuff about Obi, which is wrong on his part. It doesn't, as an activist, it doesn't have to be you. He should have put his head together and link up with Obi. Obi has the support of the youths. He has the support of well-meaning Nigerians. I will not classify myself as a youth because we're already past the 50 golden age bracket. But like I said, that's the only advice I have for him. And I just wanted you to see that person that calls from Australia. So once again, I will wish Peter Obi happy birthday.
Thank you so
much. And God gives him all the energy to continue to do what he's doing.
Anyway, that's brief and concise. I like that. So thank you. Let's move on. And I bet you are still watching probably before you leave tonight or on your travels. Okay. Now let's go to sorry, I'm going to believe that Osazele is going to be you. Of course, he has to be you. Okay.
Good evening, sir. Good evening.
Your face
good evening, everybody. All right. Okay. Good evening, everybody. Good evening, everybody. I just want to say happy birthday to Peter Obi. And I'm really glad that he's able to get to this age that he is now. Not everybody got there. And I really want to say happy birthday to him and to everyone who is celebrating birthday today, of course. And you see, the movement of Obi, we never had that before in Nigeria. It was an exceptional movement. That reminds me of what happened with, I think it was Obama in the United States, where those who were not ready to vote, they decided to come out. They all came out to support this man, to say, okay, we have something different. We have something different from what we used to have before. So Obi movement was like that. And that is why I was very happy when you decided to revisit all the whole videos, all the movement that were captured in various videos as archive that actually bear witness to that very history that was made that very period of time. And I'm really, really happy that you were able to play all those videos today. And you see, like I said before, it is something that was really, really different. You see, any form of revolution, okay, always have results. That's why you have, a lot of revolution that took place in Europe, whether in Russia or elsewhere. Okay, there's always a result because it is the people's movement. And when I see that what they try to do to Obi, and try to truncate that movement. We know it happened before during NSAS movement. And I talk about how that was going to be quick. And that was what happened in Lagos. A lot of them were killed. Everybody just came back from Masada. And when this happened like this again, it's something that really touched everybody. And that is why sometimes when I heard you say obedience, something like that, I like it, but somehow I would say I don't really like it. I would say you rather use, I'm not telling you what to do, but I would say you rather use, the Nigerians who want changes rather than just obedience, because it's more than him. Okay, the same way you see what is going on with the other side with Tinubu. It's not just about Tinubu. It's more than Tinubu. The people who are against Obi coming to power are the people who has been running Nigeria in the dark. Okay, and Tinubu is pretty much among of them. So, but it's just more than Tinubu. When you see that refinery that was built, open or inaugurated just this year, when I saw the Nigerian politicians were all going there, the governor, the ex-governors, that was before the inauguration of that refinery, Dangote refinery in Lagos. And I told my friend, I said, you know what's going on here? Those guys are not going there for nothing. It's probably that they have had their fingers stuck in these refineries. I mean, this very refinery in Lagos, because they have stolen the people's money. The money they ought to have used to bring about, a lot of changes in Nigeria. We don't have water, we don't have electricity, nothing. And I said, no, this is our money. And actually, when the whole thing was inaugurated, and I listened to you also, you talk about it and say, yes, this is actually our money. And I was very, very happy. And I told my friend, you see what I said earlier? It's unfortunate. These are the people fighting Obi. They just don't want the truth to come out, because they know when Obi will come into the picture, they might be scrutinized, and we will find out that gross corruption that will be going on in Nigeria. That's what I wanted to quickly say.
Thank you very much. I appreciate this as well. And I think I'm enjoying this. Everybody seems to be like, just dropping their beats, no much time wasting, no repetition, and all that. So thank you very much.
It's a pleasure.
And, let's go listen to others too. You should have a good evening, sir. So now I have Juden. Did I pronounce that right? Juden, sir. Actually, it was Jude.
It's Jude, Maiyegun.
Yeah. Okay.
How are you?
In the battle.
Long time. Anyway, thank you very much, and thank you for our fellow parliamentarian and as many that are listening to us all over the world. Yeah, I want to wish our president in waiting very wonderful birthday. I pray that God will continue to sustain you, God will continue to strengthen you, grant you wisdom, give you more wisdom that he has already given you. We'll pray for multiple of it, because there can't be enough of it. We want it more, because we know that God have chosen you at a time like this in the history of Nigeria to bring the change that every Nigeria has been yearning for. Myself as an individual, I have lost faith in Nigeria up until you came up in the political distancing last year. And after listening to you, I said, okay, let's see if we can, have some kind of second chance to Nigeria, whether Nigeria will, will be redeemable. So, but those that have held Nigeria to ransom, those that have been, defying Nigeria, raping Nigeria, they still continue to, work day and night to see that that Nigeria that majority of Nigerians are desiring never came to pass. But we know by the power of God, they will all be silenced, and they will all be, their voices will be silenced, and everything they had planned for Nigeria that has made many Nigerians to be running out, many dying in the Mediterranean Sea, many being taken as slaves in many African countries that are not even anything near a country like Nigeria, just because of the wicked leaders, because of the selfish leaders, because of the heartless demons called leaders, politicians in Nigeria. Well, I'm sure God will come through for us at this time. And if this opportunity fail, which I don't pray it does, then I don't think there will be anything like Nigeria. So I'm also using this time to encourage all those that love good things, that love Nigeria to become one of those countries that we always desire to travel to be. So continue to have faith and continue to be resilient, because the people we are contending with, those we are fighting against, we are up against, they are not resting at all.
They are not.
They are tooth and nail to see that Nigeria that will work for everybody do not come to pass. The kind of Nigeria they want is the one that we have seen play out in the past 2 weeks, where a palliative of billions of naira will be given, so supposed to be for the suffering masses. The same people now have hijacked the palliative to themselves. The same way they hijacked the palliative during the pandemic, they have hijacked it to themselves and to their families, and they think it's okay. And then giving Nigerian families 8,000 naira. What a shame. What a shame. What a heartless human beings. Then they're sharing 70 billion to 460
people.
Is it 469, 400 people that at the end of the day, one senator and one House of Rep will get about, if they share it equal, will get about approximately 150,000 million. And then you are giving to a family. Some families are even more than 10 people. You are giving them 8,000. 8,000 that is not up to the amount of money all these wicked politicians use in recharging phone card for their girlfriends, for their hookup girls that they call every day. Well, God is watching you. Let's see how it goes. A time, in every great kingdom on earth, there's always a time. There's always an end to that great kingdom and great people, great wicked leaders. There's always a time. I believe your time is coming. And both you and your children will suffer the pain of what Nigerians, millions of Nigerians are suffering today. You have impoverished a country that is so rich, so God has blessed so much. Make human beings reduce them to almost nothing. You have removed their self-esteem just because, so that you continue to latch on the wealth that's supposed to be used to develop Nigeria. And you think it's okay. You buy private jets, you buy jets, all of you, governors, senators, all over the world, and travel all over the world. Take your children all over the world. And you keep Nigerians impoverished. And you use that impoverization, you weaponize it and ignorance as well to continue to get into your position of authority. God is watching you. Your time is going to come to an end very soon. That is what I have to say for now.
You have said enough as well. Thanks a lot, okay? You should have a wonderful day in the
Thank you, my brother.
Have a good one, sir. Now, I'm going to go back to these faces that I have on the screen, and then we can share the slot now. So I'm going to start with, Saturday Femi, TF.
Okay. Yeah, thank you very much.
And then hang on for a second, sir. So
okay.
I'm going to go next. And I'm going to go to Clement Olusegun. It's going to be you. Then I'm going to leave the baton for Ifeanyi. I am thinking that's the same Ifeanyi, but don't tell me yet. So you are going to hold the baton. When we have more people on, you are the one who is going to try, hand it over to the next set, okay? But it's good to see these faces. And I'm going to add one or two people more because of our time, all right? Yes, sir. Sir TF or Sir FM. Tunde, you're short.
Okay. Thank you, everyone. Everybody that have spoken, thank you very much for your contribution tonight. When I see this type of contribution, it just re-energized me, and I feel more happy and relieved. It shows that our prayers are all aligning together. For Peter Obi, congratulations for your birthday. I'm happy to be sharing the same month with you. It's obvious that great people, and I know great people are born other months, but most greater things happen in July, really. So I'm happy that I'm sharing this month with somebody like Peter Obi. And for us to know, Peter Obi, I believe for this reason, God has actually brought him to this world. He knows that possibly we are going to have this, can I say, legion of criminals that we almost take over everything we have, like resources. And he knows that he needs to give hope. And thank God for preserving somebody like Peter Obi for us. And thank God again that he's coming almost at the right time. And what I would like to say is that the obedient should just keep the tempo on. We should not be discouraged. We should never, ever, ever be discouraged because we are getting there. This is almost the last lap. Sometimes when it looks as if you are getting to early morning, that is when you experience the darkest hour. I believe the cabal and the people that have been holding on to ransom for years, they are fighting their last battle now. And they will use every form of technique. And you can see recently we had that Tinubu threatened because he knows that on a normal day, we Nigerians are supposed to be the one to be threatening judiciary, but he has to use what we call a reverse psychology for us. He's very good. That is part of his game. And the cabal, they know how to do that. So he now have to be the one to threaten force that, oh, there will be anarchy. When he knows that even if they announce him to continue, that is when there will be anarchy. Not when they say they should remove it. There will be celebration and jubilation. Some of the drums that have not been beaten for years will come out the day the announcement will come out that at last, finally, the cabal is dead finally in Nigeria. We are waiting, and I'm very, very optimistic, just the way I used to be, that is going to happen. All of us, please, let's get prepared. We are going to celebrate. The truth is that these guys, even Obi himself said it, that when you want to take something from a madman, you have to prepare to be more as mad as him before he can release that into you. So that is what we are in the last lap now. We are never going to keep quiet. We will continue to fight this battle. And the good thing is that we are fighting this battle very smartly, intelligently. We are not using the 1970, 1980 method, 1990 method. No, we are using the modern day way in which you are going to fight a battle. Although sometimes it comes with some rufflings of feathers and co, but I can tell you that we are almost there. And don't let me deceive you. We are getting successful on daily basis. Don't think maybe we are not winning. We are winning and we are taking over Nigeria. What are we urge all of us, we Nigerians, is to get ready. Get ready for us to occupy the space and take over our country. If we leave the whole thing, even when Obi is being crowned, if we leave the whole thing for him, I'm telling you, the cabals will find a way to get themselves, because they are already, that's the only way they know as their home. We need to come and show how it needs to be done. Just the way the Chinese and some other countries decide to rebuild their country. We need to do it. We need to start getting prepared. This battle now is between the darkness and light. And I'm telling you, light will always win. It's just that darkness we want to shine as if, oh, darkness we want to do as if, oh, I'm never going, light will never come. I'm telling you, we are getting there. So we are getting there. And I'm happy with what is actually happening. And I'm even more hopeful. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for your support.
You never miss. That's one thing that when I see your face as members of the parliament, I'm like, God knows what he's going to drop tonight. Thank you. All right.
Thank you.
I'm going to see you some other time. Okay. You have a good one, sir. Now, let's now go to Adeola, my brother. Sir,
Maye, how far now?
I just do, Baba, as usual.
I just want to come catch cruise tonight.
You have it. I hope you remember to say congratulations to Obio, because that's what most people are already saying. It is
congrats to Peter Obi on his birthday. Wonderful, fantastic. He's more or less like a vehicle, of what we need to use, a standout person, and which is really, and it's admirable to have such character that will be able to stand in the face of impunity. I think, not too long ago, I think during our parliamentary meeting, I mentioned that Ijoba Tinubu is tokenism, is pure tokenism. And he has lived up to the billing, whereby everything is done so far. It's tokenism. You can weigh everything. You can weigh everything is done on a scale. And he's been found wanting. He's been found wanting. You see the student loan charade he's mentioned. Even the basics of student loan affordability failed. Our education is not even value for money in the first place. So, why should you even pay in the first place? So it's just sheer tokenism, 8,000 naira per family, and your own salaries have been adjusted upwards. You've adjusted your own salary upwards. Who does that? You've adjusted for all the things, inflation, contracts, compensation, and it's just an anomaly. And to be honest with you, it has to come falling down at some point. It has to come falling down at some point. For me, number one, is never sustainable in the first place. So, time is up for him. On fi agidi she presidency now. Agidi lo finche. So, Baba,
Baba, it's already.
I don't want to hug the mic tonight. I don't want to hug the mic because it's just so sad. They've plunged people into unimaginable poverty.
And it's just 2 months, too.
It's 2 months. I can't reconcile any person that is backing this government. I can't reconcile your thinking. I can't, because these same people funded and supported Buhari. The outcome was horrible. You shouldn't see, ethnographically speaking, you should not expect a divergence from what Buhari has done. You should expect a continuation, because if you believe in a contraption, right, you will do everything possible to promote it and make sure it works. But they failed consistently, and you think a Tinubu will come and do wonders. His time is up. His time is up. It's like an empty shell. Sorry to say this, but it's like an empty container. There's nothing inside. It's just, props on TV, signing things, signing paper, people going around, the new cabal, they are making statements without no substance. Baba is a mess. It's a horrible mess. And the problem is, Tinubu's government is also a poor reflection of Black people generally in the world. It's a poor reflection of us. It's a very poor representation of Black people. It's a poor representation. And they keep on making excuses for him. They keep on making excuses, forgetting, having amnesia to his past. Man, Baba.
Adiola. Thank you so much. You've dropped your beat as well. And we are all kind of coming close to the end. I have a few, 2, 3, 4 people who are behind the scene that I'm still not sure if I'm going to bring them on because of time. But thank you for your part, okay? Let me go straight to Clement. It's me and you, Ifeanyi, that will actually round it up tonight. We'll see, right? So, Sir Clemo Olusegun, it is your shot, sir.
Okay, sir. Can you hear me, sir?
Loud and clear.
Oh, thank you very much. This is my first time. I'm calling from Ile-Ife, Osun State, Nigeria here. So this is my first time of featuring on your program, and I'm glad to just come up At least kudos to all you've been doing since all this while, because if not for few people like you, things will have gone very, very bad in Nigeria than this. And I do tell people that Stambanika fi wirile kosho kuya. Sorry for people who cannot, understand Yoruba very well. I think you help me with that, Maiyegun, sir.
I will
So,
try.
So Stambanika fi wirile kosho kuya to bashe yo sunje. If not for few people like you who are, clamoring every now and then, things will have gone very, very worse than this. So I want to say kudos to you for all your efforts since all this while. For everything you've been doing to make sure.
Just say quick. Because we're having this connection issue. Because we're having this connection issue.
Okay.
Said is that man to do whatever they like. To do whatever they like. Whatever I like with of his father. Of his father. Man, that's why you don't do that. So it's over to you, sir.
Okay, thank you. So let me now go back to Obi. Actually, I'm not an obedient, but I really love him so much. I love Obi so much. And let me all of us wish him happy birthday, because he's a very fair man. And when during the election, I do canvass for him, because I was looking at what is the, a very fair way out of the candidates we have of us having something different, something that can set us on a very good path. I think Obi is the one that will have the grant, at least. And if I tell some people they will say, Obi, do I think he's an angel? I said, no, he's not an angel. He's not even a saint. But at least he has a very fair mind, and that is what we need to start with. Let's start with a man like this. If we start on this kind of platform, the first 4 years may not be that sweet as we want, but at least we'll be seeing some significant differences, some significant progresses as things goes on. And these are the kind of people we need. And I even do tell them that, see, the worst Obi, if there is anything like worst Obi, that is, if Obi did not even perform at all, the worst Obi is better than the best of Tinubu. I used to tell them then during the election, but during the pre-election and during election. But Nigerians and Yoruba land there, people will say Omowane Ejoshe, and all those kind of mentality. But now that Tinubu has won and Tinubu has been showing them some of the tokens of what he has in his store, I've gone back to some of them to just try and hear what they will say. Some of them could not, because of shame, could not say anything, and some people among them who have a kind of ego, they will say, Shebi is affecting all of us. I say, wow, so you can see now it's affecting all of us, but you are seeing then that Omowane Ejoshe, well, I don't really know. But I wish things get better for Nigeria. I wish we have a better situation, because we cannot continue like this. We can't continue like this. And I don't know how long, but I want to encourage you, Oga Maiyegun, that you should please continue with such energy that we've been putting since all this while. Please don't give up. And anybody that you know around you that can be encouraged, please try and encourage them so that we can pull any string from any angle and keep things changed. And I also want to wish, because though I'm scared of the judiciary anyway, I'm very, very scared of the judiciary in Nigeria, even coupled with the fact that Tinubu is the president, and you know how things work in Nigeria over the years, and with our judiciary. So I wish him good luck anyway in the judiciary, but I might not, as far as judiciary is concerned, my expectation is not high. No, I'm not even expecting something serious. But who knows? Who knows? Anything can happen. Who knows?
Good to have that. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? What's going to be like? The judiciary now surprise some of us to believe in them. Without believing in them, since you can begin to say maybe that will work after all. If that happens, live in their judiciary.
So, in fact, if it comes out that judiciary favors Obi eventually, for that whole week, I will celebrate it, because I wouldn't believe myself. I wouldn't believe my hair. So let me just stop here so that others could comment. It's a very nice. Yeah. Sami Gbọ́dá. Network yẹn ń ṣe láti okay, àlàáfíà làwọn yẹn wà nílé Ifẹ̀. If I could hear that correctly. Yes, sir.
Yoruba Union, right? Have a good one, okay? I think, network. That network is a bit dodgy, okay? But fair enough. I've got Ifeanyi with me. Now you are, like I said, you are the one who is going to hold the baton. You're going to be handing that to somebody before you leave tonight. But it's your shot now, please. Ifeanyi. Sorry, Ify. I think the network wanted to start acting up from your own end.
No,
there.
can you hear me now?
Yes, so I can hear you.
I just unmuted the mic.
Right.
Okay. So this is my principal's birthday. So I will do a little. I would say, now my president you be. We no want another load. Me no want to load. Oh no. Now my president you be. We don't want for a better tomorrow. Me no want to load. Oh no. Peter Obi. They call you the Kute. We love you. For the first time in my lifetime, I saw the unification of a true Nigerian patriotism and citizenship. All Nigerians united for you. We don't have no tribal sentiment, no religious sentiment. For the first time, we're watching, guiding people praying. We love you. And we want more Nigerians like you that can uplift us and make us know that a new Nigeria is possible. We love you and happy birthday. And one thing that really made me fall in love with Peter Obi is that if you look, there is no nation in this world that can survive with lack of energy, which is power supply. If you want your economy to grow, you have to boost your energy supply. So the first thing that I saw what Peter Obi did was when he went to Egypt. He went to Egypt to make inquiries of how he can increase Nigerian power supply, because that's how you can grow Nigerian economy. So, and if you look at what this new administration is doing, it's when they put up the subsidy without actually thinking about the energy resources, because Nigerians run with powering generators. That is power supply. So when you decrease that power source, you see that production will go down. And another thing that Peter Obi said is, I want to change Nigerian economy from consumption to production. And with the help of power supply, energy, you can start producing. And when you start producing, you see how the wealth gonna increase. Like I take example for like the way if you look at the sharing policies that Nigeria create. You borrow 500 billion and you share. That is consumption. You're not producing anything. So I don't know how anybody with a rational mind will justify all these policies that are putting us more and more into slavery. With now he's trying to change his mind on the eight. I don't know if you heard about that. The 8,000 naira stuff that he wanted to uplift. He now say he want to give subsidize for give away to farmers for fertilizers and stuff like that. And you're talking about farmers, you want to give them fertilizers and stuff so that they can go back to farm. You're not talking about insecurity. I remember something that happened there. Let me look at this place. The name of this place is Zamba Mari. The Daily Trust announced recently that the farmers there were slaughtered. Mm-hmm. And the government spokesperson said that the farmers did not inform the military before they went to farm. That is a government spokesperson. That means that the farmers should inform the military before they go to their farms. If they don't, then they're going to be slaughtered. That is very, very irresponsible. And if you're giving them fertilizers and you're not providing security, that's why they say that there's food shortage. Nigeria is in a big crisis. So what I see is somebody, Peter Obi is somebody that actually articulates and plan ahead of things that are going to happen with numbers and statistics. And he has, like you mentioned, he has empathy. And that's one thing we are lacking in our leadership, where people are going to share 70 billion before. You see how they do their, how they call it, the House of Assembly and House of Reps. They can't even nominate. They can not even do it independently. So the person in charge will just appoint somebody, and that person will become a rubber stamp. So anything goes. Before they even look at the way they approved this loan that they took, they already approved it and took their share. They already are taking 70 billion for themselves. And if you counted their numbers, I think 109 to 3 something, then you divide it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, each and every one of them is making close to 250 million. And that's the end of back pocket. They say that's for furniture. I don't know which government that throw away all the furniture they have after every 4 years. I don't see where they're doing their furniture sales in Abuja or everywhere. But they're gonna take 250 billion to buy furniture. I know Nigeria have a good carpenters that can make good furniture. I mean, where they go? How are you gonna spend 250 million up to approximately to buy furniture for 4 years? This is, and another thing they should think about is how to cut costs of governorship. This government is too big. If you want to save Nigerians, you cut that. I don't know, this our democracy stuff. You cut that cost. If you look at China have over 1.48 billion people living in China. Every single year, the China government moved 1.28 out of poverty. Tell me, since 1999, that Nigeria had this democracy stuff, have Nigerian poverty index moved even one needle?
No.
1 inch? It's just the elite class, which are the ruiners, I call them, and the poor ones. So it's a battle between we and them. For the first time, Obi tried. And I hope now I'm looking at the judiciary. You know, they're taking their own share already. They're giving them, I think, 30-something billion already, or what they have to share. So they already got theirs. So if they have that money in their pocket, it's just that we just have to pray and hope that that they will change their mind. Or else that money, that 30-something billion they got, that money will choke all of them. Because they're playing with our future. The money they borrowed is going to be paid for 30 years. 30 good years. The most of Tinubu and others will be gone. And me and you and he and other people will be suffering.
Behind.
Yeah. So, Maiyegun, I just want to wish Peter Obi happy birthday.
Like everyone.
And I love seeing your face again.
Go on.
All the way from San Diego. I love you all.
I love you too. We do. Thank you so much, Fanny, for making it meaningful for us tonight as well. Thank you. I'm going to go to Kenny. Me and Kenny will round it tonight. After this kind of rounding. Oh, hang on. Why did I remove Kenny? I want to remove Ifeanyi. See, we need to okay. Ifeanyi, thank you. All right. Now let's go to Kenny. Kenny.
Right.
And I tonight initially was going to be myself and Ifeanyi, and I'm kind of like it seems to be the second time you and I are going to like say I'm ending program and then you came on, or am I just kind of confused?
Yeah, I think you're right. So the last time I came up on board as well, it was almost towards the end.
Almost.
And the reason, because I'm actually working, I work from home, so when it's about some like 3:34, I start checking if you're having a program today or not, and all of that. Yeah. So, but fortunately for me, I quickly went for a walk and I came back. Like, oh, Maiyegun should be online right now. So okay, let me just check, and I see, oh, everyone is talking, and more like a parliamentary section today. All right. So thank you so much, Maiyegun. I really
please. Meanwhile, I think Dr. Ugwogo is back. Now we're going to share the sign. He's almost gone, but I just not go because you've made the effort. I'm just going to make sure that we share. Mr. Kenny, over to you quickly, sir.
Okay, all right. Thank you for the opportunity, Maiyegun. So I want to thank you first of all, Maiyegun, for the great work you're doing. Trust me, this thing that you do, it's really going, into people's mind and also liberating their mind. First of all, I want to thank you for that. The second of it is I want to wish Peter Obi a happy birthday. It's one person that I begin to see his leadership and I admire compared to the other political leadership that we do have in the country called Nigeria. So I don't want to talk too much. My question is that I see that a lot of people have been optimistic about the result or the proceeding of the court. Are we expecting something different? Because it looks like we are all getting excited, and that excitement is like, don't worry, they will give Peter Obi will win. Are we suddenly forgetting? Where we are coming from, the people we are dealing with. It looks like people are just being emotional about things and not being logical. These guys have their structure of violence. You see, Nigeria entered the new dispensation of leadership in 2014. People don't know. Going forward from 2014, the leadership that will emerge in Nigeria presidency or whatever it is, it's going to be by violence. It's going to be by how much violence you have. That is what I've seen the significant shift after Jonathan. They use violence, take over power, and then violence to maintain the power, and then it becoming that the kingdom of Nigeria suffered by violence, and violence are taken by force. That is the thing I'm seeing. So Peter Obi doesn't have that structure. Peter Obi has people's structure, right? People who actually mean something well for Nigeria. I actually wish same as well. Unfortunately, let's not forget about the people we're dealing with, the structure they have, the level of control they have. So for me, I came to ask you a question, Maiyegun. My question is, I'm seeing the excitement about the court proceeding, and like, okay, people are optimistic that something good is going to come. Nothing is going to come. Nothing.
You can't, things have gotten so bad, that the last 50 days has further cemented the conviction that actually got them involved in the first place, right? That they needed to stop APC. Now that they have been rigged out and they are like, it seems like it's a hopeless situation and things are getting out of hand right now. The least you can do, if you are one of those who invested that much time, is to hope that maybe it's just the least they can, not because they don't know who they are dealing with. Or sometimes when you see this, you say, man, something must be done. Judiciary save us. But when judiciary doesn't, that's going to be a different story then. And I think
the question is that, has judiciary ever saved anything in the past?
Obi always flaunt the card. Is
You get,
you always
might chime in here.
Okay, so anyway, so if so that's my question. That's what I came on board. I see all of
it's conversational. He said, could he just start? Now you can. I wouldn't have to let him go before, so we can make it kind of, three-phase convo. Please.
Right.
Yeah.
Don't go anywhere, Kenny, sir, please. Yeah.
No problem.
All right. So if I might chime in here, we first of all, I'll start by saying happy birthday to Peter Obi. But also, I want to say that his case is different. When Atiku made that comment and said it's only by a miracle that he will be, the president of Nigeria, he responded by, kind of chronicling his political journey and showing us that it was by miracle he became a governor. He was impeached, and by miracle he came back. In fact, it was him that redefined the tenure of governorship. And that's why you don't have governorship election at the same time all over the country, because of Peter Obi. So he is a disruptor, if you will. So I believe strongly that he will be able to change things. But let me just quickly say this. I was telling someone yesterday, I said, I am happy that Tinubu is the president. And the person was shocked because this person knows I'm an obedient. He's like, why are you saying that? If Peter Obi came in and moved the fuel price from 198 to 201 naira, everybody, the whole nation will be crying. Look at what he did. But we saw what this guy did under 2 days. He came in on the 29th, on the 30th, the price went from 198 to 500 plus. Now, when Obi comes, because when you take away the subsidy, there's no way it will remain the same. When Obi comes in and brings it down to where it is reasonable, around 250, brings down the exchange rate from what it is now, 800 or whatever, down to 470, because I think that makes sense. If you bring it down to that point, now we will see the difference will be there. So I'm excited that this guy is here, but I believe that he will take over. I believe strongly that the judiciary, they will do the right thing. It won't be business as usual. Remember, Maiyegun, before now, we didn't have this platform to discuss. You have to have big money to go to the big media. But now we have this platform and many people are organizing. Initially, we used to be 4 people in a room tweeting. But we are now the ones giving them heat, right? So I think we have what we did
until you ended up being the main force as well.
Exactly. Did you see that the PDP National Secretary was saying that Labour Party in 2-3 months garnered the same votes as PDP, who have been there for 25 years. And he said that if not for last minute abracadabra, that Labour Party won the election. You heard what they said in Lagos. He got almost 1 million votes, even though they truncated it and brought it down. In Nasarawa, in Plateau, many parts of in Rivers State. Forget about what the wicked did there, but in Rivers State, you see what they did. So, I mean, we have hope. There's excitement everywhere.
On to, especially if you are a real obedient with what you have been through. I quite agree with you. So you now see that they can't. It's not that they don't know who they are dealing with. In fact, not so much lessons by all these institutions until they got here, right?
Exactly.
That's Go on, sir.
I am not see all of these things. To me, I still see it as emotions. Okay. Yeah, everybody's saying that Peter Obi would do this, he would do that, he will bring this, blah blah blah. But I still strongly believe that I wish the court say, okay, Obi went, but trust me, we are dealing with, who we are dealing with.
Ourselves. We shouldn't lose ourselves in the moment.
Oh my goodness!
I think the next question
more disastrous, more emotional heartbreak. More heartbreak for people to not see the result not turning the way they expected. And don't forget.
What about if you now twist the question, right? What if you twist the question to, what would they do, or what are they going to do if the judiciary also rig them like INEC? And you probably would never know yet.
Somebody who rigged a whole entity and put the stunt, damning everybody, over 200 million people. So what is judiciary?
Yeah, I understand your point, Kenny.
Sorry, doctor. Because we want to share all the time, quick, and I'm just going to say thank you, everybody. Let's go. Just a moment, okay? I'm going to let Sadari to say something, because this is interesting, right? We have somebody who wants us to believe that don't let us get carried away with all of these accolades. So remember those you are dealing with. Then we have doctor who want to tell us that the man that is dealing with this judiciary this time around, remember, it's also a man they said will probably never even have a chance of challenging election because waiting one score. So from his own history, it won't be the first time of challenging the establishment through their court as rigged and corrupt as they are. Two of you have your points. I have somebody else to be the icebreaker, except if it's going to be like a 2 against 1. So Sadari, you want to add us to this, even though it's so late, I couldn't let you just stay there.
Yeah, thank you very much, Maiyegun. And Sorry, I just came in a little bit late, and I was just trying to rush to catch up with your program. What you said today was the Parliament. Okay, I think there's one thing. There's one thing we need to understand here. You know, whatever illegality or whatever disobedience coming from either the government or any individual in Nigeria, there's usually no consequences, and people people just carry on with their life as usual. In the sense that if today the courts decide to go ahead to ratify Tinubu's presidency, I can still tell you for sure nothing will happen. Okay, but interestingly, in the past 10 years, a new generation of people are beginning to waking up in Nigeria, and then those new beginning of a set of people are the people we are seeing in this early stage coming up in 2023. I can tell you for sure, a lot of people didn't really know what happened in 1999, how this democracy came about, because of how in-depth and in-depth the elites, the politicians have kept us. But thank God today, because of the social medias, young people who are not, who were meant to believe that politics was not meant for them, or politics was a bad, was a dirty game, we're beginning to see that, look, man, our fathers could not do this. And I've been poor all my life. We've been suffering all along. And man, do I want to continue like this? As a young man, when I was growing up, I knew the environment I came up. I refused to I refused to follow my parents to say, okay, this is what they used to think. Oh, it's spiritual. Oh, it's the church. Oh, this one didn't pray for this. This one, you decided not to take your destiny in yourself. But the people between the age of 10, I can tell you 10 years and 25, let me say 30 in Nigeria today, are very conscious of what is going on. And as they're growing up, they're taking strategic position, they're taking places. I can tell you for sure, during this election, I'm not in Nigeria, but of course, I knew what I contributed as I've never done before. Back home, people I needed to mobilize, even in my own community, and even as I speak to you. So I knew the effort every one of us played in this. And trust me, they will continue to steal. They will continue with the robbery. Nothing will happen for sure. But I can tell you for one thing, it might not be this 2023, it might be in the next 4 years. We will see the difference for sure.
So you admitted that, of course, the effects of the movement is so strong, of course, no doubt. But these are just people who have just been consciously aware, and they are taking action. So we can call this.
Is that the you know, when a larva, once a butterfly lays an egg, there's 3 stages. This is the larva stage. Yeah.
I think your theory might a little bit align with that of Sakeni, because he also believe that the effort is good, the expectation is good, but have we forgotten? So if you now believe that nothing will happen in your own postulation, right? So Sakeni, do you agree that it is like an imagine, sort of an imagine generation who are not likely going to be docile like the ones before them? And even if it seems that nothing will happen now, do you agree that it won't be for a long time that everybody will be saying nothing will happen, nothing will happen? Do you kind of agree?
Absolutely, Maiyegun. The reason is that, you see, these people, you look at the structure they do have on ground, all right? You look at somebody who has conquered a state already in all ramification, state capture, and you think judiciary will come and say, okay, it's no longer No, Maiyegun, look at it now. Well, the good thing is that all of this thing is to prepare the obedient to join the movement of either Yoruba Nation or Biafra, or whatever things they want to join, or the revolution now. All right. So the only thing I'm seeing from all of this awakening, that the new generation, the Gen Z, are now coming on board. Now they understand the impact of politics in their daily life and how it determines, their future. Most people now, they now have that understanding, even though some people still choose to be ignorant. All right. But majority of obedient, they are doing all of these things because they are hoping that things will change in the political space, and then which eventually change their lives, and all of that. But these people, I can't hear you, Mike. Can you hear me?
You just can't stop imagining what they are worth of doing, and somehow I'm going to leave that there for
Doctor. Let me just make my last point. Somebody that stage 1, stage 2, pre-election, election, hijack election, rig the election, win, and damn the consequences, and you expect judiciary. What is judiciary compared to all of those captures? So I'm not expecting different results. But the only good thing about it is that
the judiciary is captured already. So
that's what I'm saying. It's captured already. So they will just play as if to say, okay, the judiciary want to play smart, to feel that people that we're actually doing our work. At the end of it, it's not the same way INEC chamber. Say, okay, we have to be a
God.
You know what I want to say? What happened?
Yeah, I know. You know what I want to say? You know what I want to say, right? Me and you, I can't wait to see your face when the breaking news says court nullified Tinubu's election. It's just going to be all of us.
Oh, yeah, thank you, Maiyegun, because
if they do that, what is Supreme Court?
Yeah, even the tribunal alone, right? Yeah. If you see breaking news, that one alone will shake Nigeria.
Yeah, maybe one of them might give it. One of them might give it to Obi. One, either the tribunal or the Supreme Court. One of them.
It's a play
one on one.
It's a play. It's a play.
Kenny, let me.
Let's hear from Doctor.
Okay. What happened? Okay. What happened to INEC? Sorry, Doctor. Sorry. What happened to the INEC pre-election? These guys went all over the places and making mad that we have the technology to counter rigging. We have everything. Do you understand? And you know what? Everybody now be like, okay, wow, we're experiencing change. Same excitement everybody exhibited during pre-election. Then at the election time, what happened? It's the same way. It's the same thing.
And now you wait now, Sakeni. Doctor, it's like you and Sadre or Sadari, yeah, you kind of align in a little bit, you know what I mean? But doctors still feel like there will always be antecedents, and there will always be people that believe that with this whole thing, it is nearly impossible.
Okay. Yes.
If otherwise,
yeah. I want to disagree with Kenny respectfully, because there's always going to be a first time for everything.
Sure.
And because of I will premise everything else on this point, that Nigeria will never be the same again. For the first time in history, someone ran an election that is issue-based in Nigeria, not giving anybody money and actually boasting about it beforehand, telling you, I know they give shishi from beginning, and pulled out what this guy pulled out. The judiciary, they are also tired. They have people in their village that are being kidnapped, being killed. They have people in their villages who couldn't buy fuel to go to work. They have people in their villages who couldn't pay electricity. Forget about the 39 billion they gave them. It won't be enough for them and their village people. It was people in government that came to Buhari and said, we are tired of making money, remove subsidy. People are tired. Remember that Obi won almost 70% in Abuja, and this is the seat of power. The people that are closest to the people at the corridors of power said, we are tired. We are tired. We want something different. Nigeria, we have those in the judiciary. Even politicians told us that in their own families,
they have obedience. This is a sitting governor telling you that in his own family, his wife and his children are obedient. The judiciary also have that. They are tired too. I'm not going to mention about Ikpeazu because Ikpeazu never lost a case and obedience are counting on him. But let me just leave that aside to say people are tired. Look at these guys. Maiyegun pointed to it. 49 days. Can you believe that? These guys are the ones that personified skyrocketing. The price of fuel went from 100 and something to 700. If that's not skyrocketing, I don't know what it is. The people are now aware. The judiciary, they know. The people will vote. We are like, as it were, sitting on a keg of gunpowder, waiting for a matchstick to be struck. If they do the wrong thing, the whole nation might burn down. You can only push people to the wall so much. Even a goat will bite when you push it so much. How do you explain this? Somebody's making 30,000 a month. 30,000 a month, but he can't even use that to buy fuel to go to work for how many days? It's gonna get to a point where people will vote, and the judiciary, their village people, they are waiting for them to go home, right? So I believe strongly that sense will come into their head. Then we know they've taken Nigerians for granted for so long, and the common man will beat the sense into them when they come to the villages to visit us and ride their cars. We will not let them drive it back. Because Amechi told us, and I quote, the reason we steal is because you guys haven't stoned us. If you stone us, we'll stop stealing. We have gathered the stones. We are waiting for the judiciary. Thank you.
God bless you, Doctor. I'm going to just let all of you have this 30 seconds closing sentence. Something like, well, this is my position, good night. This is my position, good night. And then the next person, and I will be the last person. Sharp. I'll start with Sir Dari, sir. Please. 30 seconds. I'm checking the time.
All right, Maiyegun. I think to me, the obedience is still work in progress. We are still work in progress, and I can tell you for sure, we are solidifying, we are strategizing, and again, as the shege continues to come, in a bigger proportion, the larger the obedience continue to expand. Because either you like it or not, the government has also helped to expand the obedience. That is, we have more and more people falling into, even more Agbadorians falling into the obedience, getting all the sheges coming out now. So we intend to grow in scope, and for sure, my take on this 2023 still hang on 50-50, but for sure in the next 4 years, I can tell you.
So, yeah, that's your time. You know what I mean? So it's 30 seconds. You just use 41. However, I'm going to go to Sakeni. Sakeni, in 30 seconds, right? What would be your own closing statement?
Okay, so my closing statement. Thank you, Maiyegun. So my position hasn't changed; still remains the same. Why I feel it's still the same? Because checking about the historical events and the character of the people we're dealing with, so that will not change my position. To the obedient,
it will take more than the obedient to change your mind.
No. See, you know what? I like the obedience. You know what? By the time they put the final stunt, some of them, I'm pretty sure the ones that are Yorubas, among them, their voice will be too louder than Yoruba Nation, the next thing. Some of us that have gone through, we have passed through this stage. Mentally, we have passed through this stage. Yoruba Nation is the way to go, if you ask me, and my submission. But obedient, they wanted to put their last stunt. So let them pull it. And at the end of the day, they will come and join us in every tent that we have. And at the end of the day, we'll have the evolution that we've been screaming for. Yeah, exactly. All right.
Thank you.
So that's it.
Thanks a lot, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, yourself, what would be your own kind of a closing one today? It's been an interesting one, by the way. Thank you so much, every one of you. I do really appreciate this. Doctor, there you go.
First of all, to thank you. This is the first time I'm coming on your live, so thank you for letting me in. That's great. And the second one is, if there's going to be a rerun, this is going to be the easiest campaign for us. Easiest campaign for us, because this have shown us. Their position is not even solidified yet, and they are showing us Shege. If they are solidified, they will show us Shege Pro Max. So thankfully, they are showing us their hand right now. So thank God. We are going to win this. And once the judiciary makes a pronouncement, there's going to be wild jubilation. Forget about this anarchy they are talking about. Once they make the proclamation, you will see Christmas every day. People will say, you know Nigerians like when we won the 96 Olympics. You will see what you haven't. People will be declaring even with the money they don't have. So that is hope. And that's all we need to sell. With the body language of P2B, our money will change immediately, just the body language. Remember in the campaign, he said the guys that steal money are people in government. Immediately, they found the ship taking our oil. Immediately, they found where they're taking the oil. Just body language. Body language.
That's optimism. What they say in the section, doctor. They said Dr. James and optimism now 5 and 6. You have admirers. Okay, thanks a lot. This is where we're going to draw the line. I appreciate everyone. This all the time, by the way, Dr. James. Okay, we have what we call the People's Parliament on MaiyegunsDiary Politico, where people join randomly based on whatever topic we are kind of discussing. We just thought we should do this special one for the obedient. Have a collection, so when people want to watch about them, even if they have forgotten all that happened months ago, they can use this new video to catch up, right? And more possibly to understand them better. Thank you, every one of you. You should all have a good evening. Okay? Thank you a lot.
Thank you very much.
Gentlemen, us, where we are going to draw the curtains. I know I have overshot my time. So have you, because a lot of you know that when it is that 3 hours, we call it a night. Okay? But now it has passed that 3 hours. All right? I have this report I wanted to share with you. Remember, it is that of the Yoruba Union. It's so wonderful. We did something in the last few days. Princess Alogu, the convener of the rep for the Yoruba Union. We call him the homeland representatives, homeland, convener kind of, So yeah, I'll bring that back to you the next time I come on here. Wonderful stuff, touching lives and changing things, right? Well, thank you for being part of this tonight. So from me and from all of us here, of course, we can say happy birthday to Peter Obi, Mr. Peter Obi. Continue on your own, the journey of trying to prove to the establishment that Nigeria can still be saved. Good luck with that. And thank you for being part of this tonight. Good night.
Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun #1. Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun #1. Maiyegun ti dé o, ọ̀rẹ́ ará ìlú. Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun #1. Lórí Facebook, lórí YouTube. Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun #1. Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Maiyegun já wa sí. Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun #1. Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o. Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun #1. Bó bá ṣe eré àní Maiyegun máa wí. Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun #1. Ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o. Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun #1. Maiyegun Diary, Diary Politico. Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun #1. Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Maiyegun. Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun #1. Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹgbọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o. Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun #1. Àní Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun #1.
Maiyegun ti dé. Maiyegun ti dé.
Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn làkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn làkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Lórí Facebook.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn làkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Lórí YouTube.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn làkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́.
Maiyegun máa bí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn làkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Ijó ìgbádìyẹ.
Maiyegun máa bí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn làkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Presido bá rúfin o.
Maiyegun máa bí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn làkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Kí gómìnà kówó jẹ.
Maiyegun máa bí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn làkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Ọlọ́pàá tí ń darí bá.
Maiyegun máa bí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn làkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o.
Maiyegun máa bí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn làkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Òpùrọ́ olóṣèlú.
Maiyegun máa bí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn làkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn làkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn làkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn làkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn làkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o.
Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn làkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn làkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o, Maiyegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀, Maiyegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀. Oníkan ṣáàtì ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o.
Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn làkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn làkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní má ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Kì máa yí ṣe eré, ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Kì máa yí ṣe eré, ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Ẹni bá ti lè lẹ́bọ̀ lẹ́rù o, ọmọ bá dèrò kàṣàyè tú wọn síta.
Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn làkì. Maiyegun ti dé.